Hello, everyone. Welcome to Game Week 2, ChampManFPL Season 3. That wasn't so bad, was it? That's all right. That's all right, isn't it? I think we're okay. We're kind of all right, aren't we, Craig? How you doing? How you feeling about that? About the lineups?
Panic for nothing, right? Unnecessary
Yeah, of
panic
course
for
it
everyone.
was. Always was.
Felt like we kind of knew what was coming. I don't think we've been proved that wrong. A little bit of alterations at Man United, but nothing too drastic. All of the main players are playing, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, you're so relaxed about it. You've already dropped the tie. You're already slacking on your
Well,
on
I
your.
didn't know. I didn't know if this was classified as a party, a work meeting, or a social event. So obviously, I wanted to be a bit careful so I could cover all bases. This attire kind of ticks all the boxes. So if I get accused of being somewhere I shouldn't be, I can excuse myself by saying I thought it was something else. So that's
Got
my
it.
reasoning.
Got it. Good thinking. Good thinking. You've dropped the tie. I've dropped the Reading shirt. Not interested in those fuckers this week after that shambles in the week. But on to happier things. On to ChampMan FPL. So yeah, we're not gonna read out the teams like verbatim like we did like Craig did last time. I think we're saving the hernia this week. Obviously the teams are ticking across the bottom. They're out on Twitter if you want to look at the lineups. But we'll just go through each of the fixtures and pick out a few things that we thought were quite interesting. So Arsenal, Aston Villa first. I'll kick us off. So yeah, Danny Mills playing again, 2 weeks in a row, 4 million defender. That's quite interesting. And Chivers in again. Interesting as well. It's a little bit early, but things to keep an eye on. What are you thinking about that one, Craig?
Yeah, it's midfield rotation as we expect, isn't it? It's only Van Bronckhorst. Well, Perez has switched wings from last week. He's playing down the right today. Van Bronckhorst holds his position in central midfield, but ticking off and Parler in. For new players, especially Arsenal, probably one of the worst teams for midfield sort of general rotation. I know you hear us talk about things like rep, but it's not really that with Arsenal. They just don't have a set midfield. Perez is quite flexible because he plays right, left, and centre. That he usually gets into one of the positions somewhere. So as you've seen, he's switched wings this week. Defence, I'm quite grateful there wasn't a little bit of rotation. I expect a little bit of partial rep. Maybe we saw like Hippier last week at Liverpool not play, and I thought it could happen to Campbell today for Arsenal. And he was my transfer in for Ricardo Gardner, so I was a bit worried about that. But he's obviously survived. Yeah, I don't know what. I think that's probably three of the first choice defence now: Cole, Upson, Campbell. But right back, I'd imagine it will be Lauren when he's obviously back from being in the room.
You'd think so, wouldn't you, when he's back? But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised Chilvers played again. But yeah, but there you go. Like you say, Lauren probably back in. Obviously, front two we knew from the league. So Craig's got Henri and I've got Jeffers this week. So that's an interesting side hustle for the stream this week.
Yeah, I think one of us should get something. I'll be disappointed if neither of us got an attack in return. But
yeah, you'd think so. Two or 3-0 Arsenal, I think. But
what do you make of the bench? So John Hall's another random. So we've got two rubbish defenders on the bench, Volts and Halls. So obviously there's other like no Lundberg, for example, on the bench. You'd think that they'd be a bit more aggressive and maybe play a few more sort of better players, should we say? But obviously that's not how this game works, is it? Two nobodies on the bench really there.
Pretty random, yeah. Ray Parler in midfield. I should have had a Cobra bomb ready in case Ray Parler scores, but I don't know if I've got the ingredients even in the house. But yeah, so that's Arsenal, Aston Villa. So
it's worth pointing out Richard Rufus is playing today. Obviously, he was one of the players from week one who was quite popular. Game week one didn't play, and I think we kind of said might have been a man on stream or somewhere else. I've certainly mentioned it that you should hold him for this week because they're still working things out. And this is probably more like what I expect their first choice defence to be today. I think Barry, Rufus, Melberg, Mills is probably quite a good chance of this being the first choice defence moving forward.
Yeah.
And obviously Dublin has made it, is the other point to make about Villa. Obviously Balaban was injured. So yeah, we knew Balaban wasn't playing, but I think there was an assumption that Vassell would probably play, myself included. But
yeah, there's the danger. There's the danger. I can't remember exactly what Dublin's condition was, but there's the danger that he's not quite ready. But that's what ChampMan does. There's always that risk now that he'll get injured. We saw it a couple of times last season. Players came back into the team a bit earlier than they should have done, and they just get re-injured. So yeah, it'll be interesting if Dublin gets through this game or not. Yeah,
You're in luck. No Cobra Bomb, no Ray Parler Cobra Bomb for you, but Andrew Sherritt in the chat's going to have one, so you can be grateful that he can have one instead.
oh, okay, absolutely. Yeah, well, I'm glad someone's ready. Bolton, Norwich then. So Bolton, so it's basically just Gardner, isn't it? That's it. And then the rest of the team is as we'd expect, I think.
Yeah, Hendry's dropped out, hasn't he, from defence? So Skimmaker does play this week, might be on penalties. It'll be interesting. We'll find out tonight if it's him or Wallace. Won't be his first choice on penalties. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing. So I think DeVos Dunn. I don't know who their third defender is going to be. I think DeVos and Dunn will play the majority, and Skimmaker and Hendry is still up in the air. I think who the third centre back is. Hendry played last week. Skimmaker's in today. But yeah, apart from that, I think it's very attacking bench from what I can see though from Bolton. So if you've got attackers, there might be a chance of an early sub, or at least not getting the 90 minutes with a few attacking players on the bench there.
Yeah. As you say, so Skimmaker plays this week. So he did take penalties ahead of Wallace at one point last season. So if there is a penalty, I'd expect him to take it. But sometimes it can flip back around. Is a bit random, but yeah, that's something we might learn today. Pedersen vice captain for me. Norwich, does anybody care about what Norwich are doing? I mean,
that same formation that worked quite well last week again, isn't it? That's not why they're playing it again, because it worked last week. The game don't work like that, but it's obviously just their default attacking. It seems like it might be their default away formation, possibly this one.
Yeah, lots of back arrows, which is interesting. Bradford versus Blackburn then. So I guess the big talking point in this one is the Blackburn formation. So we've avoided their one up front defensive formation. A really good result for people that went with Janssen on free hit. I think a good result for people that have got O'Brien and Neil. This is what we wanted from Blackburn, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, this or the 4-2-4. O'Brien's becoming really interesting now. So I know a lot of people are talking about a wild card in game week 5, and you're going to want probably at least one 4.5 midfielder in there. And I think Kevin Nolan may have been a popular one because he plays every game. But if Burton O'Brien's going to play the majority in this attacking midfield role, he's rapidly throwing his name forward, isn't he, to take that priority slot there, because we've seen this formation 2 weeks running. I know they could drop it at any point, but he's won that spot now for 2 straight games. So, he's definitely, if he plays another one in the next 2, I think he's probably first choice in that role. I want to see what they play, actually, Blackburn. If they play 2 actual central midfielders, who plays with 2 guy? Because it still could be him. But there's obviously other options. But he's definitely one on my radar now as sort of the best 4.5 midfielder in the game at the minute, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, absolute bargain. I mean, we thought we had a bargain with De Boer last season, but if O'Brien's going to play regularly, then that's just an absolute no-brainer, isn't it? But okay, and Hoekstra misses out for Bradford, so that'll be a bit disappointing for some people. But a bit of a surprise, that one, I guess.
It just seems like home game, a little bit of rotation, does it? I don't see anything more than that. I think there's a few other little odd changes. I think that Plummer at centre back wasn't in the team last week. I think he was maybe on the bench, sort of changed him in. I can't even remember who was up front with Jess last week. Was it definitely Blake? My mind's gone. I didn't really pay that much attention to Bradford. But we've said it before, teams at home, especially in the early couple of weeks, you may get 2 or 3 random changes a week while the game settles down. And even Bradford are capable of doing that. And unfortunately for us, the one player that is probably the most owned midfielder for Bradford's the one that's faced the chop this week. But I fully expect him to be back next week, though.
Yeah, same. Yeah, he's one of their star men for sure. Ipswich, Newcastle. So Gary Doherty is back. Another one that wasn't quite 100% ready. So we'll see how he gets on coming in at centre back. Kumas has come in for Jamie Redknapp. So I'm quite surprised that, Mark Fotheringham, a good player they signed from Celtic, but still isn't in the team, even though Redknapp's dropped out. I'm a bit surprised about that. So I'd be a bit worried if I had Fotheringham in my squad at the moment.
Yeah, he's not even made the bench either. So yeah, a few sort of player swap changes here. Craney's gone from left wing back. Tariko's jumped across from right to left, and Prutton's moved from the middle out to the right. That's obviously allowed Doherty in, and another bit of random rotation here for Ipswich at home. Hariderson's gone for Breen this week. Another one, Hariderson, who I fully expect to be back next week, just part of this random shuffling around. Probably a bit unlucky because he may have been, if someone had nailed the Ipswich defender for this, they may well have gone Hariderson, because I'd probably put him down as the most nailed of all of them.
Yeah.
But as we saw with Hippier last week, it happens. So yeah, if you went green on your wild card because you wanted a 4 million defender, then fair play because you've got a start with a half a chance of a clean sheet, haven't you? There.
Yeah, definitely. And I sort of, Breen did really well in our preview. So yeah, hopefully that comes to pass for our reputation on the previews. But
the other change for them, isn't it? Back up front. I know he was. I think a lot of people thought he might start last week, and it was Pablo. But those two have rotated. It's a very attacking bench as well from Ipswich. A couple of strikers on there, so I like pointing that sort of stuff out because it's nice when you've got a player where there's no substitute for them that can take their position. I always like it if there's. We'll get to it in a minute with Man United that there's actually no defender on their bench. So if you've got a defender, they're pretty much locked in for the full 90, which is. So it's even better with forwards if you can guarantee you're going to get the 90 minutes off them. So just something to look out for people when they first look at the teams. Maybe just try and work out who the subs are and what positions they play in. To check out for that sort of thing. And then obviously Newcastle last then for today or for this fixture. Where are we?
Yeah, I don't think it's too much of note from Newcastle really.
11 as last week.
Yeah.
They obviously pressed the manager, didn't they, in that performance last week?
Yeah, great performance. Yeah, have another go, lads. You were unlucky, but yeah, obviously the two guys that got sent off back in this era of the Premier League, it took 2 weeks for a suspension to kick in. So 2 weeks is in 14 days. So it's not the same as it is now, where you get an instant suspension. So they'll play this week and maybe game week 3 as well, I guess, and then they'll get their suspensions. But yeah, same team as last week.
I'm keeping an eye on their defenders as well, Newcastle. I'm not quite sure how good they are as defensive assets with like defensive attributes. So there may be a chance if they get dominated today by Ipswich, is maybe something to look at moving forward, because I still think these will be first choice for a while, and they may be a team you can get at if they're, say, weak stats wise. It might be a target fixture, a game at home to Newcastle to go for an attacker. So bear that in mind. Obviously, we didn't get a full gauge of that last week because of those red cards.
Yeah, absolutely. So Leicester, Man City then. So looks like a few strange selections from Leicester. Looks like quite a reppy bench. But yeah, Man City looks sort of as you'd expect. Huckabee ahead of the new signing Dion Burton in an away game is maybe notable.
2 weeks running for that, isn't it? That he was starting last week as well. Yeah, I think the only other change for Man City is at right back. I think their first choice right backs come back. Let's say Leicester a bit more up in the air. Your boy on your shirt behind you is an interesting player
up front. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's another. I mean, when you look at their bench and some of the other things they've done, probably can't read too much into it that he's going to be a regular out of position player. But even if he's in the team every week, I think he's value when they're at home. But
this screams to me a bit like a rep game. This is as close as we've got to it. So they've left Elliott out, who's again their best defender. It seems to be a trait at the minute that every team leaves their best defender out. But yeah, midfield looks like a very rep midfield, and their defence is awful. There's no Sturridge to be seen. To be fair, I don't really know who their best sort of backups are, but that looks like quite a young, inexperienced bench. So this looks like quite a big rep game. And I say Lewis and Sherman's probably a contender for the worst central midfield pairing in the sim, I would think. So
yeah,
it's got a good team selection for Leicester.
I think if you started with like Wantrop or Tiato, for example, then I think this has gone quite well for you. You know, if you're not on a free hit coming into this week with Man City players, I think you've got to be happy with those lineups.
And I think definitely those that favour Taggart over Delaney on free hit are probably in a better position now. Taggart's probably got more chance of bonus points in the middle, and Delaney's obviously lost a little bit of his attacking intent playing at fullback where he was left mid last week. But I know Delaney was quite popular on some free hits because I do think Leicester have got a good chance of a clean sheet still here. But obviously Delaney offered the potential for a bit more if he was playing left midfield. But he could still get something from left back, but it's obviously less likely.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that game. So the big one, I guess, Man United versus Coventry. So we've both been saying to anyone that will listen this week that if we were on free hit, we'd pick Ruud van Nistelooy, and they do start. So we've saved face a bit there with that happening. But yeah, so it's but probably not the first choice defence. Ronnie Johnson is in. I probably expect Rocky Junior still to start with Ekiog more often than not. York and Cole is first choice, but I think the thing the thing with Man United that we were talking about before we came on stream is if you've picked Jordic in your free hit, then you've got Giggs and Nedved on the bench. So a bit of an alarm bell there.
Yeah, it could be at one point of this, couldn't it? I wouldn't be surprised to see a 360 sub, if I'm being honest, for him. So if that happens, he doesn't get a return, then yeah, not ideal for Jordic. But still, I think you still wouldn't mind 50 minutes of him at home to Coventry for a 4.5 mid, right? Even if that's what you get. It's still quite a strong position to I'd rather have 50 minutes of Jordic here than 90 minutes of Kevin Nolan, for example, running back.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. To say interesting, no defender. It's a full, very attacking bench, isn't it? Nedved, Giggs, Andy Cole, and Roy Keane. So quite interesting what happens if something happens to a defender in this game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know. Maybe Roy Keane would come on for them. I don't know. Maybe that would be interesting. But I'm quite pleased. I mean, I'm crapping myself because I don't have Van Nistelooy. And obviously, there's lots of people free hitting that have captained him and that have got him. But I'm happy, from the perspective of it's game week 2. We've got a lot of new players. If this had been a complete shit show, I'm happy. I'm happy it hasn't gone that way. But I am nervous about Van Nistelrooy now, and so are you.
Yeah, he's the best striker in the game, right? We're probably arguably the best home fixture in the calendar, and he's playing. But whenever you're not on a free hit and someone else is, you're never going to be able to completely match their team. And invariably, I think there's always going to be at least one striker that you'd rather have that week that you haven't got. Say it was Viduka last week in my case, and it's Van Nistelrooy this week. And Viduka in some ways was equally as scary last week as what Van Nistelrooy is this week. And obviously, I'm not expecting Van Nistelrooy to get a 1-pointer tonight like last week, but you have to take your chances sometimes and hope others cover what you haven't got, or you just have that one lucky sim where things go your way. I'm sure if you run 20 sims of this, there'll be at least one where Van Nistelrooy gets 2 points here. Well, he'd probably get bonus points. He's pretty much guaranteed in home games, isn't it? So you probably put him on 4 points already, Van Nistelrooy, before the ball's been kicked here, because the 2 points of bonus is pretty much locked in, I think. But yeah, we'll see. So it's not ideal taking him on, and it could be a very depressing stream for us to within 20 minutes, couldn't it? I think my hope is for that game that Man United race into a 2-0 lead. Van Nistelrooy is not really involved, and then you get the message come across the screen. Man United have put the brakes on now, and they're going to effectively play the game out, and then it finishes 2-0, which can happen, right? The teams with attacking mentality do that if they score a couple of early goals. I think that's what we're kind of hoping for here.
It can happen, either that or just what I have got matches them. I suppose that would be the fun thing, wasn't it? If Van Nistelrooy does well, but also someone, Tommy Smith or Jeffers does well alongside him, I'd probably take that. That would be good for, well, not good for my heart, but it would be good for the fun factor, I suppose. But yeah, definitely expect to be hurt a little bit by Van Nistelrooy tonight, but hopefully the boys we have got can cover them. And we've both captained Veron, I think.
Yeah, we've both captained Veron.
Yeah, we've both captained Veron. Neither of us have got Van Nistelrooy. So Sunderland, Liverpool then. What have I noticed here? I'm not sure. Heskey being picked ahead of Fowler in an away game is notable, I think. Obviously 0.5 cheaper than Fowler, been picked in an away game. Owen is back.
The donut, we're calling him, right? We're not calling him Owen. I don't know if how many people watching this watch The Masked Singer on ITV. My daughter loves it, so I'm forced to watch it every week. But there's obviously people in various costumes on there. One of which is a donut who sings. I think he was singing. I can't think what he was singing the other week. I Had a Tiger, I think. And I'm 99% convinced that's Michael Owen under that costume. So I'm going to start calling him the donut. And if it's not him in a couple of weeks, I'll look like a right idiot. But
I mean, if it's him, fair play. But my instinct was when the guy when that was guessed, I was like, there's no way Michael Owen would agree to do this. He's like, but maybe.
The character's quite short. I think when you hear him talk, you can hear the Owen. Obviously, we recognise his voice from all the punditry we do. I think I can hear a twang of that. And some of the clues, I think there's a mention of a golden boot. There's a mention of something to do with jockeying. He's got connections to horse racing. So I'm pretty sure it's him. But I'm going to call him the donut anyway, and even if it's not him.
Fair play to him if it's him. But yeah, okay, we'll see. Anything of note from Sunderland? Obviously, Issa's away on international duty, so he's not playing this week.
Yeah, nothing. I suppose nothing really. It was touch and go whether Larson played centre back again or Varga came in at centre back and Larson played right back was the other alternative. But I don't think it really matters either way. Someone might have gone Varga on a free hit for 4 million, hoping. But I think he came out quite well in a couple of sims that he got some bonus and stuff. But nothing much more to it than that. Their team's fairly same as last week, isn't it?
I think so. I dipped into the pre-deadline spaces for a couple of minutes, and I did catch that Luke, our season 1 winner, and general ChampMan legend Luke Disable has gone with Kevin Phillips on his free hit. So that'll be a nice differential if that comes off. But he's always in the mix for a home game, isn't he? I can see the logic in it, definitely.
Is he playing? He's playing against Risa as well. That might be I mentioned last week about head-to-heads. And say, obviously, if you flip the formations around, it's right centre back against left forward and vice versa. So Phillips is playing on the right here, and it's Risa who's playing left centre back for Liverpool. So that's obviously better than playing against Hippier, for example. So that's a good start for anyone that has got Phillips. That's probably worked in your favour straight away there.
Yeah. Interesting game, that one. I find almost anything can happen.
Let's point out Liverpool's crap defence again. So not only have they named Risa at centre-back for the second week running when it's not his best position, but Navarro's in as well. So they're still shuffling that defence around, aren't they? Gerrard's back as well for those that went with him last week and were disappointed. And obviously Biscan's still in central midfield, which we don't expect to last, but that's 2 weeks of that now. Yeah.
And Gerrard back, as we expected. A few new players were a bit confused about Gerrard not playing in week 1, but that was just game week 1 oddities, at home against a low rep team. As we always advise, away lineups are a fairly good guide. A couple of strange things that Craig's mentioned there, but Gerrard very much first choice and back in the team this week.
Unfortunately, picked their players in shit positions. So the 2 players you want to watch if you were Liverpool was Phillips and Arca, right? They're best 2 Sunderland players. So they've put a shit player at right back, Navarro up against Arca, and then they stuck Risa up against Phillips. They couldn't have got it any more wrong, Sunderland, could they? You can see why Peter Shreves is on the managerial hot list, or whatever it's called, when you're under threat.
Yeah.
You don't yourself any favours by those decisions, I don't think.
Definitely. Right, one more game. We're keeping good time. Watford versus Tottenham. So, a bit of a kicker for me in this one. Obviously, I'm not on a free hit, and I was really hoping for Johnson to be playing in central midfield for this one, but Sam Swannell has got the nod. So that's a bit of a kicker for me. I'm down to 9 men now with that. I thought I was fairly safe for 10. But and this is another one where we've got opposite strikers. I've got Smith and you've got Helgeson.
Yeah, so another game where probably you fancy Watford are good for at least 1 goal, probably 2. So are we going to get to the point when one of us gets 3 attacking returns, the other one gets none, or is it going to be fairly split between the strikers? Exciting, isn't it?
So Henry and Helgeson for you. And then, now we've gone through captain. Perhaps we'll stick our teams up quick for a minute before we go through the.
Just a quick point on Tottenham as well. They've a slight formation change for them. Selakovic is actually playing AMC here with an up arrow. I think he played directly up front last week.
He was up front last time, yeah. So sometimes he plays in that dipped forward role. But obviously, they're a kind of normal mentality rather than attacking this week. So I think probably put it down to that maybe.
And Poyet back. I can't think who played central mid last week with Simon Davis, but I don't think it was Poyet from memory. So he's back. So that position's obviously being shuffled around again. I'm trying to think. I was Quinton Fortune, I think, last week.
Quinton Fortune played last week.
He's nowhere to be seen either. So a little bit of rotation there.
Yeah. So that's the team. So now, our teams are on screen. So I mean, there's some similarities, but it's the front 2, isn't it? Maybe one of us is going to go off. Maybe one of us is going to be Payne. Maybe it will be, a bit of sharing. But it's really interesting. Really interesting how it's going to go for us. I think it's definitely potential for one of us to be quite happy and one of us to be head in hands here. But
I'll just be happy to not lose rank. If I stay around where I am from last week against all the free hitters, I'll be over the moon, shall we say? But I'm quietly confident. I don't think my team's horrendous this week, but especially for a non-free hitter. The non-free hitters, I'd like to think my team's up there as one of the better ones, I think, going into this. So we'll see. I've learned my lesson not to get too confident on this game, because the weeks you feel like you've got a chance of a game week rank of 1 or something, then everything goes wrong, doesn't it? So I tend to be sort of console myself a little bit and stay a bit calmer and not get too carried away.
Yeah, so I'm okay. I've got 9 men, but I think they're nine decent men. Obviously, I went Veron captain and Pedersen vice, so they were both, maybe had some risk with them, but that's come in okay. I've got one of my Man United defenders. Yeah, it's just Johnson not playing for Watford is the only thing that's ticked me off a little bit. But
if you want, I don't think we're allowed this, but you can have Kevin Nolan off my bench if you want. As well.
Thanks, mate.
We'll
Yeah,
see if
might be,
captain will allow that little thing.
might be an extra point. Might be an extra point. Okay, so that's us. So quickly, so we're nearly at kickoff. Before we get there, we are going to have goal alerts from the Champions League games tonight. So we've got Deportivo versus Middlesbrough and Chelsea versus CSKA Sofia in the third qualifying round of the Champions League is happening tonight as well. So from the first leg, so Middlesbrough are 1-0 up going away to Deportivo in the second leg, and Chelsea are 1-0 up and playing at home against CSKA. So Chelsea look good to go through. Middlesbrough, that's tough. I mean, they're 1-0 up, but they don't have an away goal away to Deportivo and Diego Tristan, etc. A bit more shaky for Middlesbrough. But either way, no matter what the results of that, double game week 5 is definitely not a goer because there will be League Cup fixtures in that week. So there's no implications on double game weeks or anything like that, just purely for interest. See whether Middlesbrough and Chelsea can get through to the Champions League group stages.
Cool. Just have a look at the chat, see if we've got anything. Abdul Akhtar saying a good Henry versus Melbo is good for Jeffers. Well, Jeffers is against Rufus if that's the case. So I don't know if their defensive stats are good, and I think it's probably as much of a match that sort of battle. So I think that the key head-to-head tonight's in that Sunderland game. I think Phillips against Risa and Arca against Navarro looks like two big mismatches there. So I think if it's going to be a game where we really get a good glimpse of what the head-to-head can do, it's that one. I think I fancy Sunderland maybe to win tonight now, having seen those lineups, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't put it past them. They love it. They love a home game, don't they? Purely anecdotal. I don't have hard evidence in front of me, but I just feel like they love a home game. I fancy Kevin Phillips to get something tonight.
Luke's just joined the chat just as you said that, so he may have just caught a glimpse of that.
Happy Kevin Phillips Day, yeah.
What are we going for? Normal first goal predictions? We can't go Van Nistelooy, can we? First goal, 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, let's have a quick go at that then. So let's say I like Blackburn's formation, and then I fancy Blackburn tonight, so I'm going to say Peter Crouch, maybe the 7th minute.
I'm going to go Phillips. I'll go 4th minute. I think we'll get obviously, what was it, 15 minutes or something last week before we got a goal. I'd be surprised if we're waiting that long again for the second week running. So I'm going to go early goal. Yeah, Phillips early on. Probably be Zima Abbey now, won't it?
Well, I mean, yeah, that'd be bad for free hitters, won't it? I suppose a lot of free hitters with Pitts and Southall, or at least one of them. But
a few guesses in the chat. Matthias has gone Trevor Benjamin, 7th minute. Rory's going for Jordic. Maybe he can score and then go off. Forever QPR saying Van Nistelooy gashed leg in the warm-up. Unfortunately, we don't get warm-up injuries. I wish they did. But no, David Strom's gone Rodders. Not a surprise. This is obviously a big Rodders fan. As picked Sturridge in his free hit, but obviously he's not playing. Andy Martin's gone Abbey first goal. Someone said we've got a Tessum guess. Dion Dublin guess. Pedersen in there. Sam Swannell.
Tariko, I'll take that.
It was involved last week. I say I wouldn't. Yeah. What happened last week has no bearing at all on this in terms of our involved players. Well, I know people have been quite outspoken about Crouch and Janssen, for example, how involved they were. But it's say they was at home last week, they're away this week, so that'll have a bearing on involvement because it's slightly different tactics and mentalities and things. And obviously, as we mentioned, they're against different players this week, and natural matchups mean they play better against certain teams and certain individuals than others. So I wouldn't read too much into what we saw in the commentary last week, as we're going to likely to get a repeat. I think it's as we are.
Definitely. But it's 8:30. Bolton, here we go. Bolton come out attacking. Norwich have also started positively. That's interesting.
Bolton and Norwich. Yeah, that is a surprise.
Arsenal attack, so that we expect that Villa to be defensive. Whether we'll get that commentary. Bradford, yeah, expect them to attack at home, but that's probably good news for Blackburn. Ipswich again at home, expect them to attack.
More this week than last week, right? I commented last week we only had about 2 teams going attacking. I think early on there goes Leicester as well. It's about every home team in a minute.
Yeah, so yeah, Leicester again, home team. Expect them to attack. Man United, of course, are gonna go for Coventry. Coventry, very defensive outlook
with hard tackling. If your sim data was right, so very defensive with.
The tackling can be a little bit iffy, even if you have all the attributes right. But yeah, it could be interesting. Watford attacking at home again, yeah, as expected, home team attack.
No chances though. Everyone's having a go, but no one's actually making any advancements at the minute.
No, his captain just giving us an insight into the tactics first, and then we're going to get a rush.
It'd be nice for someone to actually. They're attacking, but I don't know where they're attacking. Maybe they're just attacking inside the opposition's half or something, playing the ball around. I don't think anyone plays that tick-attacker football, do they? I don't think we're going to get a Man City 80% dominance possession and tick-attacker, but it'd be nice if someone actually maybe at least tries to have a shot in the first 2 minutes would be nice.
That would be good. One of your mates in the chat, Craig, Lee Atkinson.
Yeah,
he's come dropping clangers. I play football with Craig.
Yeah, he's in my Sunday League team. I messaged him like 2 days ago to make sure he had a team. I knew he played last year. We used to talk about it a bit. I don't know what his team is though. To be fair, I can't laugh at him on stream. I don't know who he's got. But, I might get a WhatsApp in a minute saying I've got so and so and so and so. So we'll see. But
we'll see. Early attack from Bradford there. I don't think there's too many Blackburn defenders around. But news of an early goal in Europe, Stamford Bridge.
And Chelsea have got it. That's good. So they're 2-0 up then. Who's going to get Ida again?
Ida the Spider, go.
I did notice last week in their league games, so they obviously won, but very, very unusual in the post-game stats. Johnson had 21 attempted headers. Now, even for players that have a lot of headers, that's an insanely high number, isn't it? 21.
Yeah.
I think he only won like 7. Who were they playing? Were they against Tottenham? Who did Chelsea play last? It was Tottenham, wasn't it?
Tottenham, yeah.
Not too bad for their central defenders for aerial attributes, but so he only won 7 out of 21. I think like 4 or 5 were key, and he obviously helped himself to man of the match. Now, if Chelsea are going to be interested, I don't know if we'll get to see the post-game stats for that game tonight, but if you notice again that he's attempting loads of headers, heading is one of the big factors towards bonus, isn't it? Now, I know that like in terms of goal scoring, he's a bit hit and miss, Johnson. He does have sims where he can get 15, 20 goals. But he also has plenty where he doesn't get anywhere near that. But he's maybe one to watch in our sim if he's competing for loads of headers every game, because he will get a fair share of bonus from doing that.
Definitely. A Chelsea forward is one of those things where I like the idea of it, but will I actually do it based on what we've seen so far? Hasselbank for me in season 1 was such a pain in the ass. I don't know if I can do it again. Early yellow card at the Stadium of Light. Ominous.
Ronald put in the chat, no tie. Ronald, if you was here at 8 o'clock, mate, you'd know why I ain't got a tie. I'm not going through it again. You can rewatch the stream tomorrow and find out why I haven't got a tie on. But there is a reason.
Hippie booked. Dudek flapping. Biscan hoofed the ball here. So Hippie early in the book. So that's not great for him. So
that'll please his owners. No points for no appearance last week, and possible 1 point already this week. Because
definitely. Well, what about that? Ominous. Is that like the match of the day? Is that going to be like the match of the day thing, where if you see someone get a yellow card that's not that interesting, you know they're going to get sent off later on in the highlights, don't you?
It's not ideal in an away game, is it, against an attacking team? A yellow in the first 5, especially on this game. So he's against Mark Libra, causing him some problems, is he, in that game? Last week, our prediction was that the Watford Tottenham game was going to be the one with lots of goals for both teams. It obviously didn't materialise like that, but that's what we thought we was going to get. We thinking Bradford, Blackburn in that role today?
I think so, yeah, or maybe Watford again. But yeah, those two in that bracket. Here comes Ashley Cole on the attack.
Dublin headed the ball on in a yellow kit. Was that?
Dublin back defending.
Maybe it's the Aston Villa yellow kit from. I actually had that kit. Oh no, not Jeffers.
Oh, that
Villa are in yellow.
Oh, so I think that was maybe a half chance for Jeffers. Somebody was asking in the chat earlier, what's your because you were talking about being in a football team, Craig. What attribute would you have at 20?
Oh, maybe I should let Lee answer that.
Wallace. That's a Wallace. Could this be a goal? Oh, keeper beaten. That's a goal. Sure. Oh no, off the line.
We'll ask Lee to comment in the chat. Maybe it would have been pace once upon a time, but I'm not. Maybe I haven't quite got that anymore. Stamina, maybe positioning. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. So yeah, it's not pace anymore, unfortunately. I mean, I am a centre back though. So just
Right,
a bit of an old
Old
one.
Trafford. Here we go. Jordic. Here he comes in lots of free hit teams. York, take that. Not RVN.
Oh, it should be, yeah.
Rocks. Good early play from Jordic.
I think that York's up against Davenport and it's Van Nistelooy up against Walker. Now, Walker, I think we know from season 1 at Charlton's not actually got that bad stats defensively. He's obviously in a bad team, but I think in terms of his attributes, he's quite good. I think you'd rather be against Davenport in a direct battle than Walker. So that's maybe a better chance for York here than Van Nistelooy. I'll put my neck on the line early and say York will outscore Van Nistelooy, having seen that.
I think that's more hope than expectation, Craig.
Maybe it's my Aston Villa zombie team that I'm getting a bit excited.
I mean, I'll take it, but I think you're optimistic there as a non-Van Nistelrooy owner.
Billy had away with the puns in early. Rodders, what a plonker for that miss. Nice only falls on a big gag there like that one. He's done well there.
Pirlo's beard mudding me there. The keeper's beaten. It's always a goal, except when it's not. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah,
that may have been a little bit of a license from Captain again. I don't think it says that in the. Does it say that in the live comms?
No chance. No. I should have seen it coming.
So yeah, Captain fooling around in the first 7 minutes. That's I don't know what that means for the next 83, but we've that started early.
Saying this is my time. He hasn't warned us this week at all, have we? We've got literally no clue. Like last week, he gave us a bit of an idea of like when there was a cluster of things, but we're completely blind this week, aren't we? So,
yeah, he's put "This is my time" in the chat. He's just put. So, to be fair, if you're writing all these comms every week, you got to allow him to have some fun with it, right? It's probably not the most pleasant. So it's probably fairly boring, I would imagine.
Oh, here's Abby. Here's Zima Abby again. 2 games. Oh,
I wouldn't mind that tonight. To be fair, Bolton clean sheet wipeout. Probably quite a few free hitters with double, right? I can imagine they've probably gone Pitts and Southall. I think a fair few free hit teams.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's Van Nistelrooy blank is go on, Lucas Neal.
Both of us here, just over the bar.
Probably no free hit teams either. That'd be massive for us if
it would be. Yeah, definitely. FPL Glasgow, what is it about us two and no early goals? Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, we'll be relegated next week for someone else to improve the fun because, yeah, it's nice to have a couple of early goals to talk about, isn't it? What's going on in the chat? Congrats! Oh,
Irons had his baby as he worked. Oh, congratulations, Irons! If that's the case, that's great news.
Oh, there you go. I've got all my Lee's been quite generous to me in the chat. He's not normally that nice in WhatsApps and stuff. He's given a list of my top end attributes and gratefully received.
Well, you got better mates than me. I'll tell you, if my mates were in the chat, it'd be a different thing going on altogether. I tell you.
Here comes Jordic again. Oh, he's fed up across into York now. He's going to have a shot instead. Early save point for Headman there. Or no, not a save point, but a save towards the save point. Oh, go on. This would be class if Ronnie Johnson.
The one no one else, but Veron losing possession.
Oh, I'd gladly take that now. 1-0 Ronnie Johnson goal max bonus. Wouldn't that be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be good. That would be good.
David H has asked for some baby name suggestions for Irons. I don't know if he's will need baby name suggestions at this late time.
Baby Zima. Who was it? Well, it was something to do with Leeds, wasn't it? That his moment where he went absolutely crazy when he was hosting last season. Was it Viduka or was it Larson? Maybe.
I thought it was the game Henry scored twice in the 90th minute. There was that game, wasn't there?
It was maybe that as well. Yeah, maybe that as well.
It's a D-ops. It's been suggested in the chat. Probably Jared, right? After 21 FPL points this week. I don't know if he's captained him, but if Bowen got 21 FPL points, then time that well. Still quite 11 minutes. We'll see if we can beat last week. I think it was 15 minutes we got our first goal.
I think it was 15 minutes, wasn't it, last week?
We'll see if we can... some ownership stats have come looking on the screen. Reece, second most owned defender now. Quite interesting. So I think you'll probably see him improve when he goes to left back. So looked at something to bear in mind. Midfielders, probably not really much surprise amongst those names, I don't think. Lampard far higher than he should be. He shouldn't be on the first page, I would argue.
See Johnson there, 20%. So I'm not alone. Not alone in that one.
People have obviously held Boxic and Viduka. They've still got quite high ownership there, third and fifth. So
yeah,
obviously it's been easy to take them out this week. I've kept Boxic on my bench in preparation for next week. A goal there.
Oh, we got a goal there.
Patrick Berger. Own goal.
I was going to say, I'm sure Sunderland were in possession there. So what happened? But it's an own goal.
That's my Aston Villa zombie team. More points. I think it was game week rank of 40 last week, and it's got Patrick Berger in it after he's half a season at Villa. So there's another attacking return for him. Michael Gray own goal. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So from out wide, Berger fired in a curving shot at goal. The shot deflected off Gray. Brilliant from Berger, but it goes down as a Gray own goal. The ball looped over Sullivan. Nothing he could do. So Patrick Berger in the points again. He did well when he played last season. He's a good pick. He's the price he is for a reason.
I think usually, though, I think he's more likely to go into the centre. Let's just have a look what happens here with Rambo crossing for Rod Wallace. Rod Wallace.
That's good. One. Oh no! Ruled out. Fraction the offside. Is it? He didn't beat four men before he scored, did he? I missed that one.
He was known for his pace, Rod Wallace, like a miniature striker, wasn't he? That had loads of pace. Just obviously went a bit too early. But yeah, with Berger, he's obviously playing left midfield today, but I would still expect him to go back into the middle eventually when they finally sort it all out and Biscan goes back to play with Hippier. I still think Barnby and Smeetser or Murphy will be out wide and it'll be Berger in the middle, but obviously benefiting from this particular game from playing out wide.
Fan of the show, Matt Holland on the attack. Stewart again, upright and rebounded away.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He obviously scored last week. I don't know how highly owned he was after game week 1, Marcus Stewart, but for 6 million, he's probably one of the top 3 options in the cheaper price brackets. I think he's probably got more chance of keeping it up than a lot of the others down there. I don't think he's a bad pick at all as the cheap third striker. And Armstrong, to be fair, so I know he didn't play last week and Pablo did, but I think Armstrong is more likely to play than Pablo over the season.
Oh, Veron on the volley. Oh, how by Headman. That would have been good for us. Man United easily on top. Oh, there's a goal coming, isn't there?
We haven't seen Van Nistelooy. Everyone else has had a shot, barring him. So, sod's law, right? The one shot he has will probably end up going in. I really hope it's not one of those where he scores 2 and we get the post-game stats. He's had 2 shots in the game and they've both gone in. When York's had 5 and not scored any. I can cope with Van Nistelooy scoring 2 if he has 6 shots.
Libra odds on the ball. Dudek again. 2 good saves from Dudek. It looks like there. Something about the North Sea air that captain's thrown in there. I didn't quite catch all of that.
It's not the biggest travel up from Liverpool to Sunderland. Not my UK geography timings aren't the best, and certainly north of sort of Birmingham isn't the best. But so it's not like he's travelling up from Watford to Sunderland, is it?
No, it's not far.
Oh, I've just lost. Give me 2 seconds. What's happened here?
FPL Monkey Hanger. Well, I had the first goal scorer. Well done, Gray. So you got a Gray owner in the chat. OG. Oh dear. Oh, hard luck. At least you see in the funny side.
-2, -3. What's an own goal? I can't remember.
Oh, I'm not sure.
No, I can't remember either. But yeah, it's not It's not ideal wiping the clean sheet out as well at the same time, is it?
No, definitely not.
Still quiet. Not even actually a lot going on either. I thought Man United have had more than maybe 2 goal attempts in their dominance here, but say the longer it's 0-0, the better. Teach Mode's having a go at punning, is he? I missed that. Using his head man made a save, did he? With his head.
-2. People telling us OG is -2.
So Michael Gray on -1, or well, no, he's on 0 then at the minute, isn't he?
Someone asking in the chat, does Captain type it all out? So no, some of it is just the game commentary, the actual match report. But he adds in a few lines of his own for a bit of fun and artistic license. Rebrov chance at Matsidis save.
I'd imagine he's probably the most owned 4.5 goalkeeper this week on free hit. I would think there's obviously a little bit of disagreement about free hit goalkeepers. I think a few people would have gone Westerveld for the safety net. I think he's probably got the most likely clean sheet, 5.5. I think that was fair enough. And obviously Jääskeläinen was a candidate at Bolton. I preferred Ian Walker. I think I would have had in goal if I was on free hit for Leicester.
Yeah.
Some may have chanced Brannigan and would have been rewarded. He's starting, isn't he? So you could have got 4 million Brannigan in goal again for Ipswich. Here comes Aston Villa.
Had you a simple finish? Oh my God, the Arsenal clean sheet is gone.
Oh, just us talking about Westerveld. Just
first
as I say,
attack of the game. Well, there's no surprise there that it's their first attack of the game. Yeah, they're going to be set up very defensively, but one chance, one goal.
There goes my Sol Campbell clean sheet wipeout transfer in, gone wrong straight away.
Wow. So
these are Rangel owners as well, because obviously they got a good haul off him last week.
Yeah,
and they would have been forced to play him here by not really because they wanted to, just because they kind of had to. And there's another assist for him unexpectedly. So
fantastic. And then they got Bradford at home next week. So yeah, people that started with Angel absolutely laughing their tits off right now.
No, not Kevin Nolan scoring. He scored. Kevin Nolan
again. The Bolton clean sheet is gone.
Oh no!
Southall in the mud. Pitts in the mud.
One of the only non-free hitters with the liberty of having a substitute this week, and it's the substitute that scored.
Wow! Come on, you've got to see the bright side there as a non-free hitter. But
that's a big one for non-free hitters, because I think a lot of people have been forced to play him as well, just because they needed a bare 11 out. I'd say I'm happy it's wiped out the Bolton clean sheets, but that's a big goal for non-free hitters, that one. Van Bronckhorst with a cross.
Barry headed the ball. Chilvers, he ain't going to score, is he? Pires cross. Come on, Jeffers, on the end of that. Come on, Franny. Yes!
No.
The
free hitters get back into it straight away. I think Jeffers was more popular than Henry, I would imagine, on free hit.
Yeah, because it's so hard to fit in Ruud and Henry, wasn't it?
If you wanted him and Pedersen, for example, I think the Henry to Jeffers move would have probably been the more popular way of freeing up some money from all of those options.
Wow, big few minutes. 2 big clean sheet wipeouts there. Jeffers a popular pick. Pires is quite high owned as well, isn't he? Off to Filbert Street for the first time.
I don't think we're going to Filbert Street very often in this stream, so let's milk this.
Heath 1 down for Joby. Is he going to do it again?
He's got good dribbling stats. Oh, he has.
Oh, Joby.
That's an inspired T-shirt. What was it? An assist last week and a goal this week. That's an inspired choice.
Go on, Joby. Matt Heath, assist.
Could be a big haul for him if he gets a clean sheet as well. Clean sheet assist bonus, maybe.
Here's Sam Swanell. He's going to steal my Johnson points. Oh, okay. So he saved it. That's a good save for...
Henderson's missed the follow-up. Oh. I'm covering you at the minute because I've got 11 and you've got 9. So that goal for you is level again, I think.
Couple of saves for Serini there. So that's all right, isn't it? So...
He's saving all Helgeson shots. I don't know what I prefer here. Serini clean sheet or Helgeson goal. But I'd rather he wasn't saving all Helgeson shots.
Wow, big bit of action there. Another two big clean sheet wipeouts.
It's a big 5 minutes in ChampMan world, as pointed out by Ben Baker. I said that's anyone. I wouldn't put it past a few people going treble Arsenal defence on free hit as well. I would have crossed my mind to do. I think I would have had Cole and Campbell, for example. I think if I was free hitting.
Oh, so I'd have definitely had Vesterveld in goal, and I'm sure I would have picked a defender as well.
Yeah, so I think there's potentially 4 clean sheets gone in that 5 minutes. If people went double Arsenal and double Bolton, which I say isn't beyond the realms of possibility, people did that. Could be 4 clean sheet wipeouts, and all they've got as a positive is maybe Jeffers if they went there as well. But yeah, not a nice 5 minutes for free hitters, I don't think there.
No, but long way to go. Long way to go.
Fantasy Connects from Villa gave in to the Perez shot. Not a bad one. Not a bad pun. Perez, yeah.
This is a chance for Huckabee. I keep thinking it's a red card when Man City flash up.
It is a very strange shade of red, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's just because it's got the black writing with it. Most teams have really got white writing, haven't they? From free kick. Oh no, the other way around. Oh, that's
yellow for Sylvester.
Big yellow card. If this goes in as well. That's all we need now. We're telling everyone what the bank of clean sheets are every week, and every week none of them get the clean sheet.
Yeah, well, that's the variance, isn't it? I mean, over the 38 games, it will come to pass, but there's no guarantee. Like any sim data for us or anyone else, it's not a guarantee of anything. It's basically match odds, but you get upsets in real football and you get upsets in this. But
even if we ran 50 sims and Man United kept clean sheets in all 50, that wouldn't guarantee we'd get one in this one, right?
No, exactly.
There's Matt Jansen pick up a loose ball from 2 guy. Andy Martin just put in the chat. He Crouch over Engel was his biggest decision in game week 1, and he picked Crouch. I can see why. I think that was a tight call game week 1, wasn't it? Yeah. Especially if he wasn't in planning on free hit in game week 2, the fact that Crouch had the better game this week may have been enough to sway that decision. I think thinking over the 4, Crouch was slightly better, and I can understand that. I think I probably would have done it as well, to be honest. But yeah, these are the swings, right? Here comes Petkoff, who did manage to make this. Forgot to mention that actually before kickoff that he was playing, because he was another one that was orange flagged and we was unsure about.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose we didn't really talk about that much last week, did we? Like Watford were obviously disappointing, but I don't think we really mentioned that actually their star player wasn't playing. But
it takes all their set pieces. I don't know who their second is for set pieces. I don't know what their set piece attribute is, but obviously Petkoff's is very high. There's Jeffers again.
Header from Jeffers.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a goal. That long delay teased me there.
I wasn't sure if that was just me or if it was actually a delay.
Yeah, I thought this is definitely a goal. Once it held there for that extra 2 or 3 seconds, I thought, oh no. I don't know if I'm happy or not for you, Martin. I obviously am, because it'd be nice if one of us two do quite well.
DeVos sprints over to DeVos. Booking for DeVos. On a tightrope up against Zima Abbey to do some defending against.
I don't know if we want a rivalry on here like that. It'd be nice if both of us are up there and it turns into a little rivalry that way. I think for now we can be nice to each other, can't we, for a few weeks?
Oh, definitely, yeah. No, we definitely want both of us to do well. No question.
I'm definitely in the camp of cheering anyone who's not on free hit. I mean, I think it's turned into there's a rivalry. I mean, it's free hit versus non-free hit, right? And can the non-free hit stay in close enough contention to the free hitters? So we're obviously in camp non-free hit. And that seems to be the big thing this week. There's Petkov
shooting from the free hit. So yeah, see insight there into how prominent Petkov is when he's in the team. Lucas Neal.
That's not Lucas Neal. There's a
Lucas Neal. Sorry, it's the wrong game.
Yeah, there's a right back for Watford. Is it Thomas Neal? I think maybe.
Header from Ziga. What's he up to? Goal for Spurs. Quick thinking by Davies. Ziga takes advantage and Tottenham take the lead.
So that Matt Vida's clean sheet wipeout for anyone.
His clean sheet is gone. I mean, we've spoken about how bad the Watford defence is at the moment. Obviously, no Galley this season. One of their other first choice centre backs is out, isn't he? So it really does look a bit ropey, but good going forwards, but not great defensively.
I don't know how you pronounce that defender. It's like Panay or something. I think he's playing against who's not that great from memory. Vega's all right, obviously, when he plays, but he's the only one, I think, now. the rest of the back fours, and no, it's just Vega. They haven't got Robinson, have they? He doesn't play for Watford. He was at Millwall, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think
I don't
so.
know. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of him, the left back. No, not him. So yeah, I think pretty much it's just Vega. There's Gary Neville winning a header. Oh, is
Gary
it the
Neville hit the post. Now Sylvester's shooting.
They've gone full Trenton Robertson, haven't they? There, Man United. They've got all the fullbacks in the box as well. Left Ronnie Johnson back by himself.
Yeah, very quiet from Van Nistelooy, but
don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
could all be a ruse. It could all be a ruse. It wouldn't surprise me if captains just deleted all the lines of Ruud van Nistelooy commentary, and then he's going to get a second half hat trick.
Yeah, what we need from captain here is that we've got a referee like the one at the African Cup of Nations who wants to finish the game early. We could do with that tonight because obviously we know Van Nistelrooy is very good at scoring in the last minute of games, isn't he? So we could do with an 85-minute early full-time whistle, right? We got the AFCON would be a goal in. Here comes Deportivo. You mentioned obviously Tristan
Nutmeg Southgate. Oh dear, jink pass.
Why is he taking on Zepeda after Southgate?
Goal. So that's
5 players there. He is good on this game, isn't he, Tristan?
That's 1-1 on aggregate. So Middlesbrough need. I mean, if they can score the away goal, then they're right back in the driving seat, aren't they? But yeah, not great news for Middlesbrough.
This isn't from memory. I don't know if you know the answer to this, but obviously this is a Champions League qualifying game.
Yeah.
It's not if you lose this, you get inserted into UEFA Cup instead, is it? Like obviously now if you can get into the Europa League if you get knocked out of the Champions League. I don't think it was like that. Then I think they just completely don't play in Europe. I think it is if they don't win this qualifying.
I think they might go into the UEFA Cup. I think they do. If it's the third round, I think they do.
Oh, I'm sure we'll find out at some point. Oh, it's another header from Good Johnson. So
4-2 from Ida the Spider. Good Johnson.
2 headers again. I don't know what the goal. I can't remember from memory if they was headers last week. But I don't know what it is about the Chelsea tactic all of a sudden. But they obviously found a way to obviously set him up for headers. And
so I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was a Carboni assist, but he probably underachieved a little bit last season.
Yeah. Good one from Colin there. Doesn't look like Burrow will go to Tristan's. I quite like that. He's back, isn't he? We didn't see him last week, but he's back. So
I think Malky Mackay was hooked while we were chatting there as well. I think it was Malky Mackay. It was definitely a Norwich player that was substituted.
1-0 up and they take off probably their best centre back.
Yeah, he'd only touched the ball 3 times. Oh yeah, here we go. Captain's just given it to us. So Norwich made a substitution. Mackay has been replaced by Marchant.
He's not a centre back.
Yeah, 3 passes for 27 minutes, and Mackay won't cut it at this level.
Surely, if you're playing away and your defender's only touched the ball 3 times and you're 1-0 up, I would see that as a positive. To be fair, if I was a manager, my centre back wasn't being asked to do anything in what's supposedly a tough away game. Oh, there's a goal for Man City, is it? One shot. Oh, that's annoying as well. My original plan this week was a -4 of Boxic out and Dyer out.
I remember you saying that. It's a sub at Old Trafford.
Yeah, I was going to do Pedersen for Coventry. Oh, a forward for a defender.
That's a forward for a defender, yeah. 1 incomplete pass in 29 minutes.
What are they doing there? So they've got Bothroyd, Hughes and Joachim on now.
Well, so the Bothroyd just went off, I think.
No, on. He came on for Eddie.
He came on. Oh, that's bold. Yeah, of course.
I don't quite know how the reshuffling of that's going to happen.
Smeetser with a chance here. Goal for Smeetser.
I think that was another Patrick Berger assist as well, I think
it was 2 assists for Patrick Berger.
Yeah, he's
Liverpool still on the attack.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try and work out that. I don't know the Coventry players well enough, if I'm being honest, to work out how that reshuffle is going to happen. But they've got 3 forwards on, and they've already got Keith O'Neill playing left wing, who's technically a forward as well. So I've got no idea how that's going to work. That looks like an even bigger mess to me for Coventry.
Definitely.
But
it tells you that they're not touching the ball, right? Because that's what the AI does. Like it's not. If you're not involved in the game, you just get hooks.
There's Cole crossing for Thierry Henry. Oh, don't hit the cross.
Thierry. Perez passes it to Jeffers. Oh, no, not quite. Yeah. Dublin headed the ball upfield. Dublin seems to be defending a bit in this game, but Villa are very defensive setup, obviously. But
we wouldn't have had a positional change in game there, would we? I think he can. Can he play defence?
Yeah, I think so, because he played centre back, didn't he, for some of his career?
I don't think they would have had a reshuffle that would have changed anything. There goes Jordic.
Probably not yet, but here comes Van Nistelooy. Out jumps the keeper. Goal.
Goal, and the Jordic assist. Jordic assist as well. It could have been Chadwick with the assist, couldn't it? That's Jordic not good news either.
Very good.
Coventry got to have a go now. They've got three forwards on.
Fantastic for free hitters with the pair of them there.
I don't think we did well enough there, Martin. I'm getting excited for that guy. I feel bad for everyone watching that we've. Here he is again from a Sylvester Cup.
Oh no, not again! Not again! Oh no!
Also, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. What? It looks like Jochin's gone to a more defensive role. Who's about 5'2" from memory for Aston Villa. Why you've stuck him in defence? The most uninspired piece of managing I've ever seen. Take a defender off and then play Julian Jochin in a deeper position, because at that moment he probably had a slightly higher average rating.
Yeah. Yeah, Coventry in a pickle. They've made that substitution and now it's all gone Pete Tong.
Oh, rude.
Right, I need some Tommy Smith goals, need some Jeffers goals now.
Looks like 13 points already for Van Nistelrooy. I've only played 32 minutes. Well, we got 2 goals of appearance and probably max bonus already here, 13 points. Yeah, not unexpected, but this was the big risk for non-free hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But Veron, Pedersen, just somebody do something basically.
I'm probably more annoyed that Jordic has nabbed one of the assists, because I think a lot of people would have, like, Van Nistelrooy is bad enough, but getting a 6-pointer or whatever it's going to be off Jordic as well, which I'd say I had a sneaky suspicion he might end up going off for a 1-pointer here. But to see him get some returns as well, we've just got to hope no one else. Well, we've got to hope, I suppose, for our sake, Veron gets something. What we don't need is a big difference between Van Nistelrooy and Veron, right? I know free hitters will probably have both in a lot of cases, but
we've only got
for us, especially we've got him captained as well. We need Veron to try and get close to Van Nistelrooy. Really, 1 goal or something at least, probably now.
Yeah, we need something. Need something from one of the armband players, definitely. Watson in the book.
What we got in the chat? Any more? Andy Martin reckons Van Nistelrooy should have been 16 million. I think everyone would have still had him this week, Andy, even if he was 16. If he was 20 million, I think people would have had him this week, wouldn't they?
You'd have found a way on free hit, probably, yeah.
I think I would have had him for 20 million. It was probably one of the biggest bankers going. He was going to get something from this game.
Slakovic, chance. Slakovic, power header, goal. Slakovic, 2-0 Tottenham.
Must be that
experience of Vega. So we were saying that obviously Vega's missing. Not a good centre back pairing for Watford today.
No, and must be that new position for Slakovic, late run into the box from that sort of deeper position.
Yeah, a return for Rebrov. You know it's bad if Rebrov gets a return, don't you? Against
Gary Smith in the chat. I'm a Ruud van Nistelooy captain, so about 90% of the other people in the chat, I would think. So
you would think so, wouldn't you?
Arthur McGowan's got Nolan coming on for Gardner. That's a legendary sort of.
That's a result.
Yeah.
He did well. He got a return at Liverpool as well, didn't he? So he's had a really good start to the season. But
Newcastle. Yeah, not a lot is happening in the chat at the minute. Target Watford from Andy Martin. Yeah, I think it's a reasonable shout for the next goals. Leeds next week, isn't it?
Nothing without Garley. Again, as we touched on, without Garley, they really are struggling, especially if they got someone else missing as well.
Yeah, and say it's Leeds of all teams next week. So Viduka with a big chance of redemption for anyone that free hitted this week and had him last week. Big chance. Here comes Newcastle. Olivier Bernard, second game in it. He's
playing out left.
Yeah, 4.5 defender playing left wing, 2 games running. Massive run.
Oh, Ipswich clean sheet wipeout as well. Bloody hell.
Yeah, 4.5 million defender playing left wing. Something to monitor.
Yeah.
So I think defensive positions are too precious in this game to maybe use one on something like that. But if you are of the mindset that you want sort of we'll call it a rubbish fifth defender for want of a better phrase, I think it's probably worth trying to find the 0.5 extra for someone like him.
It's Kevin Phillips with a chance. Goal, Kevin Phillips.
The Sable's flying, isn't he? Van Nistelooy goal, Phillips goal, captain, vice captain.
Definitely said, yeah. I mean, that vindicates what we said before kickoff, didn't it? Kevin Phillips in a home game.
Look, who got the assist as well.
Parker. Yeah.
Yeah, those two.
That classic pairing.
And that, to say who they were playing against today, it was nailed on, I think.
Oh, here, Lampropoulos.
If you would have said to me after 36 minutes, there's only going to be one game that's still 0-0. The one game that is still 0 is not the one I would have.
No, definitely.
I probably would have gone Leicester Man City as the most obvious one to be 0-0 for the longest, if I was guessing, I think. But
I think apart from Man United, we could be on for no clean sheets here apart from Man United.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I think Watford, you'd like to think, well, I thought Watford would score last week and they didn't, did they? So we're going to get 2 weeks running of no Watford goals. I wouldn't trust Newcastle to keep a clean sheet with those 2 centre-backs either.
Definitely not.
Oh, but he comes
Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough going to get their away goal.
Good luck trying to read that, by the way. That's bloody awful, isn't it?
Zepeda with a free kick. Zepeda over the wall. Goal. Zepeda.
Does that say goal? I couldn't read it. Was that goal?
Yeah. 20-yard out. 20-yard free kick from Zepeda. So Middlesbrough with the away goal. 2-1 on aggregate. Deportivo now need 2 to knock them out.
Mahmood Hashim in the chat. Why are Norwich so good now? I don't think they are, mate. I think
they're not.
This is just one of those little lotteries at the minute. A bit like Blackpool, if you remember when they was in the Premier League. They had first sort of 8 weeks of that season, they was flying, weren't they? And gradually, second half of the season, they drifted back down, didn't they? And ended up getting relegated. I kind of feel like it's Norwich could be that team this year. They may have a good 4 or 5 games, but they'll revert to type quickly enough, I would think, and I still expect them to get relegated.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
It'd be a big goal for Borough. I think I'm assuming that's a good thing for the game in general.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, it guarantees them a certain amount of games in Europe, doesn't it? Whether you think that's good or not, because obviously the UEFA Cup at this time, they'd have just gone into a straight 2-legged knockout tie. But obviously, if they get to the group stage, that's definitely 6 European games that they've got. So, I mean, it might not be good for Boxic, for example.
Yeah, low natural fitness, takes longer to recover from games and stuff. He's going to be playing a lot at lower percentage. Anyone that went Leicester goalkeeper on free hit in the water there.
Wow, Tim Flowers in.
I think he's 4 million. So something to bear in mind. I don't know how long obviously Ian Walker's injured for, but I think Flowers is 4 million. So if it's a sort of medium length injury, we may have ourselves a nailed 4 million keeper for at least a couple of weeks here. We need to find out the severity of that injury. But
I mean, it is Leicester, but it's
figures can't be choosers when you want a 4 million keeper.
No, definitely not. I suppose you have Henry with a chance. Oh, wow, Engelman save. The other thing I don't think we mentioned is Brannigan is in goal again ahead of Pullen.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. Obviously, it's still potential. They're still working things out. And goalkeepers do change at funny times. Obviously, from last season, Holloway just started randomly playing at a random point. It wasn't like the first 4 weeks. He started to play it later than that, didn't it? When he started to get games from memory.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who started the season for us. Was Wright in goal right at the start? I can't even remember, to be honest. I know Holloway had his little run for 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, I seem to remember it was weird, right from the start, but I could be wrong. Bradford on the attack. So the 1-0 we didn't expect. Lampropoulos, he's had a few saves now, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Bradford must have bad shooters if he's saving stuff because he's not very good. So
John Curtis winning headers in defence.
here's a corner from Mika Hyde, and they got
Now Berg winning it. Blackburn withstood. So Curtis and Berg, I sort of as you'd expect, Curtis and Berg sort of winning the aerial duels back there for Blackburn.
you come Ipswich end to end from the goal kick, is it? Matt Holland.
Fan of the show, plays it to Armstrong. That's our first half volley of the night, isn't it? Last week. Griffin in the book.
He got a red. Was it him that got a red last week? It was, wasn't it?
I think he did. It was him and Holt, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, I've not seen that before. 2 reds in back-to-back games. A 7-game ban or something stupid if that happens. I think could be.
Probably something like that.
Yeah, this Marchant guy came on. I'm pretty sure he's potentially could play up front or potentially could play wing back, as daft as that sounds. So at least with Norwich, what they've done, I think Daesh started off at right back. So I think they at least could move Daesh into the middle because Mackay went off, didn't he? And then that Marchant just goes to play right back. So at least in some way that makes some sense. Unlike obviously the Coventry one, which we'll never get to the bottom of what's actually happened in terms of their. It's York's cross. Oh, it's Luke Chadwick back stick.
Chadwick smashed by Chadwick. All wide. Nothing from Veron yet, is there? Nothing I haven't seen. But we said that about Van Nistelooy, and then he scored 2 in a minute. So
yeah, I'd like to think we'll get 1 return off Veron. I don't think that's unreasonable expectation.
No, you'd hope not. 1 from Veron and 1 from Pedersen, and then yes, it's okay.
Michael Gray trying for redemption after his early own goal. He's found Phillips in there.
Phillips again on for the brace. Dudek. Phillips again. Oh, this could be a goal. Goal! Kevin Phillips brace. Super Kevin Phillips. Great.
Massive, yeah. Home striker. It's the rule, isn't it? A premium striker playing at home. Your chances in the lottery are a lot higher, aren't they? That Definitely. Right side of Liverpool was getting carved open. Another assist from the left. Again,
it's another one for the pricing, isn't it? Like any new players might have looked at Kevin Phillips and think, bloody hell, like he's very expensive for a Sunderland player, but this is exactly why.
I think you could start with him because obviously they're one of the teams that started with 3 away games in the first 4, and this was their home game. So the home game on paper wouldn't have looked the most attractive, Liverpool. And I don't think their 3 away games are better away games either. So I don't think he was an obvious. I think it was pretty hard to go with him from game week 1. But I think he'll be one of those in game week 5 where the fixture swing suits him.
Yeah.
So he's definitely one to consider, right, if for those wild card in game week 5 or having a premium they need to move around. If you've got a Viduka or a Boxic or someone you don't want anymore, he's definitely someone to consider for that spot in your squad. Say Angud Johnson at the moment, I would say as well. There's a couple of people putting themselves forward as players that are looking like it's a strong sim for them.
What are we on? 44 minutes. Another goal.
Liverpool shouldn't be starting Reese at centre back yet. That's true. No. They definitely shouldn't be starting Navarro at right back. I would say is probably the bigger problem.
Because Hegham's on the bench, isn't he? So.
Maybe if Reese has got a bad rating, then we may finally get to see Biscan at centre back here for the second half. Oh, don't get booked, Sol Campbell.
Campbell
and a yellow. Jesus Christ. What an inspired transfer in that was. Might as well just kept Gardner, mightn't they? And play Kevin Nolan. Done nothing. Just play Kevin Nolan instead. We've had 2 free transfers next week and 4 extra points.
That's the way it goes sometimes. Here comes Tariko, chased by Griffin on a yellow card. Tariko gets it in. Holland jumps. Oh, I thought that was a Tariko assist then.
I could have had about 10 assists, it feels like here. And I've got, again, I must be the only person in the world that hasn't got an attacking return yet, I don't think. I don't think I've got one.
No, I don't think you have either, if that helps.
Oh, I have. I've got one on my bench just for my one substitute. That's it. We've made it to half time, I think, as well. No, we haven't. Here comes Norwich.
Here come Norwich. We're still going. Kevin Nolan. Jaskalainen spills it and Skimica clears it.
Considering he's running backwards towards the edge of his own penalty box, how is he so involved?
After last week, I'm not going to question the commentary too much. Marchand.
Involved this Marchand, did he come on, isn't he?
He does.
So I think he's a 5.5 mid from memory. And not that you want to pay that much for a Norwich midfielder, I don't think. But say if he starts getting games, especially if he starts getting games in quite advanced positions, he could be a candidate for a midfield spot. One to probably watch, see if he gets enough minutes. Marchand. Here's one chop again.
One chop again on for a brace. Ooh, Flowers, substitute keeper. Svensson drips in the corner. Right, here's your man, Jermaine Wright. Up for headers. Goal, Jermaine Wright.
Goals 2 weeks running, my boy. I don't own him. Yeah, he's got that knack, isn't he? I can't tell you what it is about him. He had it at Ipswich as well. I know he didn't play very much, but he had a knack, didn't he, of chipping in with goals.
Yeah.
And that seems to have continued.
He's definitely an interesting player. He's one of those. If he wasn't called Jermaine Wright, I think people would talk about him more, maybe.
Norwich trying to, even Watford trying to play out from the back. He looks like the goalkeeper playing it out to a centre back.
Oh, is your man Helgeson?
Oh, every time one of my players does something.
Rack up the save points for me. That's all right.
I think he's had about 3 shots, Helgeson, here.
There's half time.
My players have had enough shots. I can say that, but I must have bought all the players with finishing of 8 or something. I didn't realise.
Well, there you go. There's your half time.
You're in a better mood than me. You can read them all up.
Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 1. I'll read the scores and then I'll leave you with the chat for a minute. You get some gin down you. Don't worry. There's still 45 minutes left. Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 1. Big upset for the clean sheet wipe out there at Arsenal. Bolton 0, Norwich 1. Surely Bolton come into that in the second half. Bradford 0, Blackburn 0. Again, don't really expect that to be 0-0. Really surprised if that stays the same. Ipswich 1, Newcastle 0. Always got to back the home team to score, so don't think that one's done yet. Leicester 1, Man City 2. That's one where Man City could close up shop now, isn't it? And it stays 1-2, but we'll see how it goes. Man United 2, Coventry 0. Yeah, who knows? Could be more goals in that one. Clean sheet for Man United looks really, really good now. Sunderland 2, Liverpool 2. A game where we thought anything could happen, really. A good away team going against a team at home attacking. And Watford 0, Tottenham 2. So again, hopefully we're both hoping for a Watford goal in the second half.
It's looking like, outside of Ruud, to be fair, it's not been a great game for free here. I know it's easy to look at that. I know, and obviously Luke has got Phillips as well, pardon me. But I think most of the popular players on free hits, your Pedersens, for example, and your Verons. I know we want Veron, but I don't think it's a great sort of, let's say, the Arsenal clean sheet wipeout, the Bolton clean sheet wipeout. You're looking, say, outside of Ruud, it probably hasn't actually been that many returns for free hits here. I know there's a few.
It's a difficult one because, I mean, I suppose for a lot of free hitters, a Ruud haul on its own is going to be sort of almost close to, making it viable against non-free hitters that don't have Ruud.
He'll be on 13 points at the minute, so 26 for a captain at the minute for Ruud.
Exactly, yeah. And, people not on a free hit, there's a lot of people with Henry captain or Veron captain, things like that. So I think it's not going too bad for the free hit, just from Ruud, because, I mean, just because, as I say, the people that aren't on a free hit, it's not really gone for them either. So I think it's.
I don't think I've got 26 points from all my 11 players in a minute.
Yeah, it's still really in the balance. Free hit versus non-free hit is still really, really in the balance. I think. Big second half.
I think you go into a free hit with the sort of hope more than anything that you could get like 80, 90 points, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think you're going to get that tonight, the way things are going. You'll probably get about 50 But I say that will probably be more than non-free hit. But is the gain going to be enough to justify it? I don't know. But yeah, so a few people in the chat disappointed. Eamon Fazell's got Ian Walker, Sol Campbell, and Damien Delaney. So obviously Ian Walker's gone off already. Campbell's on for a 1-pointer after a booking. Near Shakhtar's got no clean sheets left on his free hit. I think that'll be common on most free hits, to be honest, because I don't think anyone's got Bradford, Blackburn, and Newcastle defender. Someone may have a Man United defender, but good effort from John Shanley. He's got Ruud captain, Jordic vice captain, and he's got Sylvester, Perez, and Jeffers. So that's a good use of a free hit, isn't it?
Really good, really good.
James O'Mahony as well played his captain fantastic chip on Van Nistelooy this week.
Wow, that's big. I mean,
so 39 points at the moment. I think. Well, we're assuming Van Nistelrooy is going to get man of the match, but he gets it in most home games. He doesn't actually do a lot, so he's bound to get it in the game where he scores 2 goals. I would think. So,
got to be in for team of the week there. If you got captain fantastic on Ruud, you're going to be in with a shout.
Yeah, so I think that's 39 just for that chip. Good use of the chip, right? It's one of those a bit like FPL, isn't it? Most people save that captain chip for a double, but there is. So you're probably not going to get a better home game in the calendar than the best striker in the game at home to one of the 2 or 3 worst defences. So
yeah, it's brave, but definitely paying off.
Yeah, Nick Treadwell, right? Talking about Bernard, a defender. Yeah, he is. I say he's 4.5. They're a hard one because. I know, Martin, at the best of times, you said you ain't Newcastle's biggest fan on this game, and certainly defensively, I'm not. But 4.5 playing defender playing left wing, he's not a bad option to have first sub.
You can't argue with that. Yeah, or as a just set and forget sub, definitely.
So I'd much rather have him than a 4 million defender. Would I rather have him than a Rufus or someone else at 4.5? It's hard, isn't it? And I say he's still not nailed in that position. I wouldn't say. I know he's played there for the first 2 games, but we can't keep banging on about it. That there's some positions in some teams where there's still a strong chance that we don't know who the actual starter is yet, even if they play both the matches. I still won't be convinced that Brannigan starts every game, for example, even though he's played 2. Risa won't stay centre-back, I wouldn't think, even though he's played 2 there.
No.
And the same with Bernard. I'd say he could get it, and I'm sure in Sims it's one of those positions that sim to sim could be a different player in that role, and we may get Bernard as that player in our sim, but I think we need a bit more evidence yet before we can fully commit to it.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on. Could be real value.
Any other hard luck stories in the chat or anything? Anyone? I'm looking down. I haven't seen anyone massively complaining yet. I've seen a few people having good weeks.
Yeah, a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it? So it's very much in the balance, and there's lots of games where we definitely expect more goals. So yeah, interesting. I'll leave you with it for just a minute, Craig.
There goes Martin, toilet break again. Wonder what he's like at real life football games if he can't go 90 minutes without needing a wee. That's not ideal. Smith's 1986, not seeing much of Crouch yet. Oh, we haven't seen much of Blackburn in general, I don't think. I say, especially after last week, people were quite confident that were quite impressed by Blackburn's attacking sort of intent, shall we say. But yeah, we're not getting a lot of that at the moment in this game. We haven't seen a lot of them on screen at all. Actually, that game has been strangely quiet, because if there was a game that was going to be 2-2 or something this week, I would have probably thought Bradford v Blackburn would be that game. But it's probably a good way that we haven't seen too much of Bradford after their, I don't think their font and colour combinations are the easiest to read. Not quite as desperate as Middlesbrough in the Champions League, but not great either. Yeah, Tom's saying Crouch and Solano not even been mentioned. Yeah, I haven't seen much of even Janssen. I don't think's barely had a mention either. Wouldn't be surprised though if Blackburn still score in the second half of that game. FPL Maestro Norwich to win the league at this rate. They might just about hang on to be top of the league in August. I don't think it'll go much past that if they can win a couple more games. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't win this one, to be fair. I still think Bolton will at least score 1 in the second half. Eric, I had Helgeson all week. Legend at QPR, swap for Smith. I've still got Helgeson, mate. He's had about 4 headers if you've been watching the game coverage. Hasn't scored yet. James Mahoney seems to have a problem with his space bar because I can't read. What's that? Serini, Berg, Ekiog, Biscan, Campbell, two guy, Veron, Wally. Yeah, it seems like it's doing fine, mate. I'll have a rough estimate of what you got there. But yeah, Berg, Ekiog, Serini, good clean sheets. Mainly just been talking about Blackburn, mate, where you've been gone, because a few comments that have not actually been that much going on in that game, and certainly no mentions of Crouch at all, or Solano, or even two guy. Obviously, was quite heavily involved last week.
Yeah, it's a funny one. Yeah, it's a surprise it's 0-0, but you see, like, Sunderland 2, Liverpool 2 at half time. That, maybe that could happen in that game in the second half. It wouldn't be surprising.
Arthur, Holland owners, keep or sell. I don't think he was ever the best option at that price point. I could see the appeal to start with him because he was nailed, or one of their more nailed players. Then they started off obviously with 2 home games. Personally, I probably think depends what other problems you've got in your squad. I don't think he's great moving forward, but he will play every game and he may chip in with something. So I wouldn't say he's a definite sell, Holland, but I think there'll be others at that price point that have got more upside than him if you've got sort of what do we call it, a sort of a Liberty transfer or something. Just one if you've got scope to make a bit of a wild transfer. Rory saying the Gaffer site's not loading.
Yeah, you won't get the points until shortly after full time. It won't update live like FPL does.
Smith's is saying Leicester missing Redknapp, and that's Ipswich. You mean, mate? I think Redknapp's at Ipswich on this game, but yeah, they're not doing a lot. Ipswich, a few chances for Alan Armstrong, but so I think one of their strikers should score against one of these Newcastle defenders. Not a lot going on in that game, to be fair. Newcastle haven't done a lot. I don't think Shearer's name's come up once, has it? I don't think.
Don't think so. Again, pep talk, and Norwich going to be the surprise package. I still really, really doubt it. I mean, they could still lose this game 4-1. It's only half time. I very much doubt it. But early days.
What you mean by surprise, right? Is I think the best they'll do is maybe finish like 15th or something.
Yeah,
and that would still be a good season, I think, based on Sims if they manage to do that.
Yeah, I suppose it would. But I mean, in terms of fantasy assets, I still don't see a Norwich player ending up in everyone's team or anything like that.
They're filler, aren't they? If you go Dyche or something, if you want a 4 million defender who plays, I can see the appeal of that. I say Nolan starts every game. I wouldn't start expecting masses of attacking returns because he's got 2 in 2 weeks, though. It wouldn't surprise me if he ended up on like 3 for the season. He just used 2 up in the first 2 weeks, right? That's more than plausible as well. I think we saw that with Brian Hughes last season at Charlton. They obviously went down, but I think he started fairly promisingly, didn't he, in terms of a few attacking returns? And they just all dried up, didn't they?
Yeah, they did a bit, but he was a little bit more attacking in terms of attributes, at least. Nolan, I definitely would fancy to be a bit of a flash in the pan, but we'll see. So Teach Mode asking, would you be selling Pedersen? So Pedersen's one of those where over the course of a season, you almost always get what you expect from him, which is sort of double-figure goals, somewhere between 10 and 15. So, as a midfielder, over the course of a season, Pedersen will probably do okay for you, but it's just whether you want to be more aggressive and try something else, I suppose. But I think Pedersen's really good value as a midfielder, and
and you forget about him, right? He's just a set and forget, ideal sort of zombie team player, isn't he? Just pick him, leave him there. He'll tick over. He'll probably get goals in the weeks you don't expect him, and probably disappoint you in the weeks you do expect it. Like a bit like tonight.
But that's exactly what I mean. Over the season, you'll probably get value from him. He's in
week to week. There's probably a better option around his price, so you could try and be aggressive and smart and try and get on the haul, isn't there? But equally, we know how precious transfers are in this game, and I wouldn't be jumping around at his position. I don't think to try and chase points. You're better off saving your transfers, jumping around the premium strikers, aren't you? Anyone that did like Viduka to Van Nistelooy this week would have been rewarded, for example, and they can maybe even move back to Viduka again next week. And there's nothing wrong with that strategy, is there? Viduka, Van Nistelooy, Viduka, first 3 weeks. I think that's the key for anyone now, especially new players. Try and get 8-9 of your players set as basically as season keepers if you can. and just focus your transfers on your 3 strikers and maybe 1 mid or something you might want. But if you're on a wild card game week 5, just pick 5 defenders who you want to permanently hold. Obviously, if there's an injury or something, it can't be helped. But you don't want to be using transfers on defenders or cheap mids. You basically want to be saving them all, rotating strikers for fixtures. I think is a sensible strategy for that. We're back underway again, by the way. Here comes and broadcast. Oh, go on, Sol Campbell.
Here's your boy Sol. Come on, Franny.
Oh, I would have probably taken that goal as well. I could have done with that Campbell assist.
Cool. That would have been a bit better for me.
Have you got him as a captain here?
No, I had him emergency, but Veron and Pedersen both played. So
there's the famous phrase for Man United taking their foot off the pedal. This may play out 2-0 now.
Yeah, I'd still fancy them, but I know what you mean. In general, sometimes that can happen. The game just dies. But
you've seen it before. If you play it on very fast mode and that happens, 20 minutes just go through in like no time, don't they? Because literally nothing happens for about 20 minutes.
Bernard involved again.
Ipswich playing Prutton in a terrible position. His attributes aren't really good as a right wing back. He's much better at centre midfield, but Ipswich seem to want to play him everywhere else except centre midfield. One of those things.
Rebrov in the book for fouling Smith. Swannell taking Johnson's spot. Helgeson on the volley.
How many chances, Ida? How many chances?
Lots of saves from Serini. That's 4 or 5 saves from Serini.
4 or 5 saves from Helgeson. I don't know if he saved from anyone else as well.
Yeah, true. It's Tessum. Oh, off Boyson away.
I'm going to get any sort of gratification from Helgeson missing all these shots. I definitely want a clean sheet from the keeper. I'm going to be fuming if Paolo Venazza scores or Stephen Glass or something, and I lose the clean sheet as well.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Man United taking their foot off the gas. Man United parking the bus. A few comments like that. Yeah. I definitely don't think Coventry will score now. I haven't seen that stat go through. It's just whether Man United pinch another 1 or 2, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, Tommy Smith has been awfully absent tonight. FPL depression probably means he'd have 1 shot, 1 goal in the second half. So I can't wait to see post-game stats. How many shots Helgeson's had? He's probably going to be the most of the game week.
Although I think he would have had the assist for that Helgeson chance, so that would have been a nice compromise for us too. I'd have taken that Smith. I'll let you have a Helgeson goal with a Smith assist. That's what a nice guy I am.
Thanks, mate. That's very very noble of you.
Much like Pedersen, Pedersen very quiet, but again, fancy Bolton to score, but famous last words.
Maybe be a bit worried here if your players have not been mentioned too much. I wouldn't be surprised if we get David Dunn go off before the 60th minute, for example. I haven't really seen him do a lot. And they've obviously got Nedved, who can play central midfield, and Keane, who really only plays central midfield. So it wouldn't surprise me if they try and get that on. In terms of Jordic, I think it depends what his average rating is. If he's playing a 9 or something, obviously we don't know, but if he is playing a 9 or something at the moment, I don't think they'll take him off, despite the fact they might want to get gigs on. I think if your average rating's high enough, they don't substitute you unless your fitness is really low. I think usually, it has to be 7 or lower from what I'd sort of looked at over season 2. If someone's playing 8 or a 9, they don't go off regardless if there's a sub waiting to come on in their position. But if it's 7 or lower, certainly 5s and 6s, you're a prime candidate to go off.
Yeah.
But it can happen at 7. So it's
Norwich on the attack again. Are they going to score again? Walker hit the bar.
There's a lot of bars being hit in this game, right?
Hits, yeah. We've replaced half volleys with hitting the bar, I think.
Ollie Watkins would have been brilliant on ChampMan 0102 because
he's good at both.
Yeah, he's very good at hitting. Oh, Biscan's gone off. I've got him as well.
Lippmanen came on, so Liverpool going for it a bit now. Obviously, Biscan was out of position in midfield anyway, but
that's 0 pointer there.
Lippmanen, because he's a defender, isn't he? So it will be, yeah.
Great start. Thank you, Igor. Thank you, mate. Obviously, that's a very low average rating. If Lippmanen will just go into, I think he's a forward.
He can
in
play
this
in
game.
midfield though, definitely.
Yeah, he'll just go into central midfield.
Jerry Ferry goes into the book. So Taggart was in of some free hit teams, I think, looking for just a budget defender to finish the team off, but he's in the book.
I think I recommended a few people that were asking about Taggart or Delaney, and I thought Taggart's was the more guarantee of the two was a Taggart, some Taggart bonus points over a Delaney attacking return. Oh, look at this from
another goal in Europe. So Chelsea about to concede. I don't think it will matter too much, but I suppose it will make it 2-1, won't it?
Yeah, it's 2-0 or 3-1 on aggregate, isn't it?
So 3-1. Yeah. So no danger there. Chelsea are heading into the group stages, I think. That's
another one. I would imagine, without obviously knowing that CSK Sofia are probably playing defensive and all of the stuff you're expecting of Aston Villa tonight, for example. I wouldn't be surprised. So I don't think they're going to have enough shots to get 3 goals back. Mr. Steno.
Hero of game week 1 is in the book.
Midfielders in general are probably worth pointing out to new players. Well, they're very inconsistent on this game. You'll get that from not just 2 guys. I know we've seen Jermaine Wright and Nolan get returns in 2 weeks running, but players will just blow hot and cold like that. They'll get returns in like 3 weeks, and you'll think, oh, I'll definitely get him in, and then they could blank for like 6 in a row. I think that they're the most inconsistent position. Defenders are fairly reliable for bonus. Strikers, within reason, are fairly reliable for goals. Midfielders, though, I think it's very much a lottery, and when they're going to return, you just kind of just have to pick one and stick with them. I don't think it's a position to jump around.
No.
So if you've got one now that you've decided you wanted for the first 4 game weeks, I wouldn't be thinking I'll sell them for Jermaine Wright, because I think Man City have got 2 home games now. They've got Arsenal and Norwich, and there goes Alan Shearer. I'm not Bernard again.
All down for Bernard. Griffin made himself available for the past. He's going to redeem himself. All Prutton defected.
I've got Kieran Dyer. I haven't seen him mentioned very much in this game either.
Stephen Hughes. Cheapo with a defensive header.
We'd be interested how many go for Jermaine Wright, though. They've got to say that they're 2 home games, 3 and 4, especially Norwich in 4. I think people have half an eye on that. Well, I don't know now.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe Norwich are a team. So I still think they're a team to target, despite what we're seeing here.
Yeah. But you almost don't mind if a few people are put off targeting them with a game like that, because just still go for it, and maybe not everyone's doing it. FPL Glasgow one shot, definitely. FPL Glasgow in the chat was asking whether Chelsea going through means that their game against Blackburn will be off. So it depends what side of the draw they're on. If they're drawn to play in the groups that are on a Tuesday, then it will mean that the Blackburn game will be off. If they're drawn to play in the groups that play on Wednesday, then the Blackburn game will be safe. So it's still a bit up in the air. I think we'll find out on Sunday in the preview stream.
Zima Abbey off there for Norwich and Rod Wallace off for Bolton, if anyone owns those players. Yeah, it's stupid, this game, because obviously that Chelsea-Blackburn game has been booked in for a Monday night fixture. Now, obviously, in real life, that would just be moved to a Saturday instead, right, or something.
Yeah.
To accommodate the Champions League on the Tuesday or Wednesday. But this game, being a bit thick, decides that the Champions League game is more important. So the league game, rather than just moving it a day forward, they'll just cancel it, which is what will happen if Chelsea need to play the Tuesday Champions League. So, it's one of those faults of the game, really.
It's a bit annoying, but it's still before the game week 5 wildcard that we were all looking at. So, I mean, it's not too bad, even if the Chelsea game, I suppose it's more Blackburn assets, isn't it, really, than Chelsea, I suppose. But
yeah, it's good for Chelsea. I think most people free hitting wildcarding in game week 5 would have at least been eyeing up 1 Chelsea defender, maybe in some cases 2 Chelsea defenders. So
they'll have an extra game.
Yeah, so it's a good thing for those that we're going to wildcard, I think. And if you got Blackburn assets, I don't know if you really wanted them to play that game anyway. It's not the easiest, is it?
Well, true. That's very true. Yeah.
So, but not ideal if you've got Crouch or Jensen. I'm guessing it's those 2 mainly. Say in our case, Lucas Neal, but that so it's easier for us to bench Lucas Neal than someone with Crouch, though, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, still a 50-50 chance that blank happens in game week 4, and we'll find out on Sunday.
They've got to get through first, but we assume
They got to get through, but they're 3-1 up there. It should be all right.
Sunderland.
What's in your glass, Craig? Have you got? Is that a flavoured gin? Is it straight up?
Yeah, same as last week. I don't know if I want to do a bit more promotion. Maybe I can get this podcast a little advertising arrangement.
I'm actually sponsored by Thatcher's Gold, so that's a nice little.
We'll go with what we've got. I've got Whitney Neal's handcrafted gin, watermelon and kiwi.
Just down the road, Merkel Farm.
Here comes a Watford change or Petkoff. Maybe a fitness thing.
Yeah, it could be a condition thing, that one, yeah. But at least he's got through it and he's not injured, or it doesn't seem to be.
Marcus Gall now probably on pens if they happen to get one. Be annoying for Petkoff owners, anyone that went him on a free hit, because I think he probably would have been on pens. And now, from memory, I think Marcus Gall's first choice when he's on the pitch, so he'll definitely be on pens now. He's another one, a bit like Noel Williams, at a bit of, at least in my head, felt like he made quite a big impact when he come on in games and a tendency to score. Where there's a lot of subs that it feels like they come on most games and don't do anything. It felt like those two at Watford did at least have a tendency to score.
They did. We missed a goalkeeper substitution, Craig. So Dudek has been hooked, and Kirkland is on.
He seemed like he was having a good game to me, Dudek.
Yeah, he seems to be doing all right. Maybe he's not touched the ball in the second half yet. I don't know.
Colm Dudek could be losing a number 1 jersey.
No injury.
No injury.
No injury, so he's just been pulled.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll lose a number 1 to Kirkland. Is that something you've seen in your sims before? I know he's been priced up. There's quite a big difference between the prices, which makes you think Dudek should be more nailed. But
I think it can happen. I think sometimes Dudek leaves, but if they're I think it's an interesting one. There's no guarantee that Dudek's number 1. I don't think this far in.
There's a Vassell one for Dublin. Probably another case of orange flagged player having a low condition now, I would think. And then Pablo for Armstrong. That one's going to be tactical, I think, rather than fitness related. Just the opposite way around to last week. You're one to watch though, Kirkland, because I don't know how much he is. If he's 5, he may be 5.5, but if he's 5,
that'd be value, wouldn't it?
Isn't it?
But yeah, that's an interesting one. Dudek pulled off.
I'll just have a look now, see if I can find out what his price is. Maybe someone else can tell us in the chat if they've got that. Loads of changes before 60, said the Smiths. Yeah, this is quite a common block of time, 45, like start of the second half to the hour mark for substitutes. So annoying for us because that means potentially a lot of 1-pointers in this block. But it seems to be a popular time in the game to make substitutes. Yeah. So yeah, get used to it. Keep yourself some fingernails for this block of time because it will happen. Surprised Dwight York's still on. To be fair, I thought Andy Cole might have been. I thought Man United at least would have made one change in this block. We may get through it. Dioff Dublin, says Cole. Quite like that one.
Dioff Dublin, or don't deck as well. I saw.
Rasmus has put Kirkland is 5 million. So one to monitor. I think we'll know for definite by about game week 8 to 10, maybe, what the Liverpool goalkeeper situation is. But I'd imagine he could be in everyone's team at that point, Kirkland, if he becomes nailed.
But again, at least same as Petkov, at least Dion Dublin seems to have made it through without actually getting himself injured. So he'll probably be all right going forward. Here comes Ray Parler. Parler with a drive. Are we getting a Cobra bomb in the chat? Not quite. Just come back for the second half. If I missed anything, I'm not sure if that's taking the piss or.
Oh, Sol, what are you doing to me? I'm getting teased so much. It's like we obviously gave captain our teams earlier today. I'm sure he's deliberately inserted a few bits of extra comments for my players, making it look like they've almost scored when they haven't.
You wouldn't put it past him, especially when it's this quiet for goals. He's probably thought, oh, that's what I can do. I can chuck in some chances for Sol Campbell for Craig's benefit.
Seems to be happening, but I say it, yeah. I am soul destroyed, Cobbler. Yeah, quite right.
Soul
I
destroyed.
didn't expect a 1 pointer tonight from Soul. You'll probably have to liberty now not to get any bonus points either, just to rub it in.
What some vomit.
Yeah, Wallace and Vomit's quite a good one. To be fair, he scored. No, he got disallowed, didn't it? Just to rub it in a little bit more.
Yeah, it was disallowed. Poet off of Bunjetrovic.
Can he play central mid? Maybe. I think he can.
I think he can. And Rebrov delivers to the near post. Selakovic did brilliantly to play that 1-2 and then get himself to the back post and headed attempt.
Yeah, I didn't know he had
fantastic play.
He must have 25 acceleration or something to get him that quick. One of those. Luke always talks about hidden stats, right? Or these other types of stats. Maybe he's got something.
Are we sure Bradford and Blackburn are playing? Yeah, they're definitely playing. Oh, there's Pedersen's name. Ricketts collects the ball. Oh, Mercer.
He's not making the same. He's not being asked to make the same number of saves as last week. Old Billy, is he? He's
no. Well, at least Pedersen. That's an involvement from Pedersen. Over to Filbert Street, corner to Man City.
Yeah, Svensson's on corners, is he? Interesting. Shemaine Wright again.
Shemaine Wright again. Sinclair took it away from him. Savage runs it away, lobs it to Benjamin. Here's Joby again.
With his elite dribbling.
What a player he is.
He's got elite dribbling, so maybe he could...
Clean set of heels. It's like watching Messi from Joby.
Oh, yeah. 5 million mid, right?
5 million mid. Wow.
He's not going to play up front every week, but
I was just about to say he's out of position. He's not going to play up front every week, but
he's got high dribbling stats, right? So he could do it in any given week. Go on, Dyer. First time his name's been mentioned. Oh, of course it's not gone in. Of course it hasn't. That's not working out, that move. 2 weeks against the Quinn off for Dabby's ass. Oh, that's interesting. Who's playing left back? So they've taken the left back out.
Oh, the stretch is out for the next player. Hughes player down. He walks off gingerly. Elliott on. So that's really bad news for Newcastle. If they'll be even crapper than they normally are if he's out for any period.
So it looks like Elliott's gone to left back because Quinn went off. Or, well, to be fair, we don't know which way around Elliott and Bernard are playing now. It could be either way around them two. One's going to be at left back and one's going to be left wing. And Dabby's ass is on in the middle. So, like last week, one of those central defenders has gone into midfield to play with Holt. I'd imagine Griffin, because it seemed like it was him last week. So I'd imagine Griffin, clean sheet, locked in for Marlon Brooms there. Straight swap there, Ludvigsen for O'Brien. But anyway, Marlon Brooms has got 6 points locked in. Managed to make it past 60 minutes for Bradford.
I mean, O'Brien's got 3 points there. It's not the end of the world for a 4.5, I suppose.
You'd take that every week, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you had to play them. That's his job done, right? 3 points.
Yeah, you think so.
Here
Man
we go.
United substitution.
Yeah,
so David Dunn is gone for Roy Keane.
Yeah, so not surprised by that.
Nedved and Giggs still sat on the bench.
I say Veron could still go off. I'd say because we haven't seen a lot of him doesn't mean to say he's not going to end the game with a high average rating. He tends to in pretty much all home games, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's very, very unusual for him to get a 7 at home. No doubt the week he does it, that'll be the week we've got him captain.
Oh, here's an Arsenal. Hall's replaced Chilvers. That's a forward for a defender, isn't it?
No, he's a defender.
Ignore me. That's a defender. I was thinking of Barrett for a second, but yeah, Hall's is a defender.
Oh, Gerrard off. Biscan's already
injured. A poorly shin. That's one from captain. Palmy replaced the injured Gerrard. I hope he hasn't replaced Gash leg there. That would be disappointing.
I've got to assume Berger's gone back at 2 assists out wide, but the manager won't take that into account. He'll still, I'd imagine, move Berger back into the middle, and Barmby will go onto the left, I would think. So, obviously, the most influential player. I don't know where Michael Owen's gone, eating too many donuts, I would imagine, because he's not involved in the game, is he? Yeah?
He's eating his own costume and he's full of donuts.
He's having a very quiet game, both of them, to be fair. Owen and Heskey. I've barely seen either of them mentioned in the comms, to be fair.
Oh, Veron plays ball to Van Nistelooy. Van Nistelooy squares the ball, picked up by York, low drive.
It might not have been the crossbar this time. It's
just the woodwork. Poorly shinned. What do you think that is? Do you think like Captain and Panda have got like a sweepstake on the amount of gashed legs? Captain's gone low, so he's just replaced the gashed leg with a poorly
shinned.
What's
he doing, Gerard? Jack Grealish shin pads weren't in existence in 2002, were they?
No.
Anyone wear Jack Grealish shin pads back then?
No, I don't. No.
They should have wore like manly shin pads, but the sort of the full-sized ones. So it should be impossible to injure your shin with those shin pads on, shouldn't it?
Well, you'd hope so. They weren't very good. I hated playing with those shin pads. I tried that for a bit. You know, the ones that went over your ankles, and then you had like a bit of plastic around your ankle, and then the shin pad like, up to your knee. Horrendous.
Mine have got those. They got the ankle support as well.
I couldn't be doing with that.
Interesting there change from Sunderland. So Sibon's on for Teal. Does he play right midfield, Sibon? Something tells me he might be. He's obviously usually a striker, but from memory tells me he can play right midfield. So maybe he's playing out there. If not, they've got 3 strikers on here, Sunderland. I'm not quite sure how that works otherwise. Man on boys, one of us, probably Thomas in the chat, 1 goal in 20 minutes, bloody hell. I don't know why he's surprised how this game works. It's
you only shim when you're winning. Like that one. Darren Malloy, I like the ankle support. No.
I'm the same.
I was a winger. I didn't like it. They just any extra weight around my feet and my legs, I hated it.
Maybe I was used to getting kicked in my shins as a defender. I still am, to be fair. So, what am I up to now? Like 25 years of regular football or something like that. So, my feet take a battering and my ankles take a battering like all the time. I've got horrible feet because they always get trod on and things like that. You know, it's like you go out for a header and someone like lands on your foot. It's like, your feet get a battering.
All that stuff, yeah. The ankle bit went under your foot as well. Yeah, that was the other bit. So you had like extra with your socks as well. So like you're trying to cram more into your boot. Oh no, I didn't like them at all.
Are you a fan of like the tight football boot that's like almost molded to your foot, or do you prefer to wear one that's maybe slightly too big that you got a bit of like breathing space in?
I don't like the striker ones, like the Nike. I don't like the Nike Tiempos and stuff. They're too thin. I like a proper like Adidas or a Puma boot, but I can't be doing with all the extra like strapping and the massive shin pads that go on over your foot and stuff. No, I can't be doing with that.
You'll just purely slide it down your socks and get on with it. Yeah. Remember Nathan in the chat reckons the ankle bit's annoying. Maybe I'm just old school. I don't think even when I was younger, I don't think you got the choice of just the ankle sliders, as I call them. I think it was always the ones that went around your foot. Or my parents were just like pure protection. You're wearing these massive shin pads. I think they went over my kneecaps. They were that big.
So with a shin pad chat with a PG version of Modern Irons. I don't know. Maybe it is only game week 2. I don't know if it took them a while to settle in.
Blame Captain for inventing shin injuries. We wouldn't be talking about this if it weren't for Captain. He's kind of led us down this path with his.
We knew we'd need something to talk about. The guy knows what he's doing.
We've been set up to talk about shin pads. Left wing back change. I'm guessing then. I reckon we're finally going to get Prutton in midfield following that. So I reckon Tarico's gone over to the right. Oh, Helgeson's gone off again. Not my night this. This is a dreadful, dreadful night.
Helgeson gone.
Second week running that Smith survived Helgeson.
Yeah. That was my experience last season, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything, but I held Helgeson for a block of 6 games or something that I thought looked good. And every week he got hooked for Noel Williams. It was a pain in the ass. Disable, what do you guys think about the troubles in the Middle East? I think I'm going to stay well away from it. Let them get on with it. It's my view.
Yeah. Not my mastermind subjects. Give me in there talking about shin pads and I'll get 13 right, I think. But yeah, not anything about the Middle East.
I won't be going on holiday there. That's my view on it.
Game set a match at Chelsea. How they've scored if they've given the ball away in midfield.
That's why he plays the ball out.
55-yard pass.
55-yard ping to Christensen.
That's not Andrews Christensen.
No, it's not.
Years early.
It's not a 4-year-old Anders Christensen or something, but
it's the rubbish guy, isn't it? Tom, who plays midfield, right, left, centre. Who's for some strange reason they like giving minutes to. I think we saw him a couple of times in central midfield last year. I think when there was a few rep games. He's obviously got on tonight for it.
We've had one goal. We've had one goal. One goal in the second half.
Which we talk about now. Shin pads chats has run out, I think.
I think it has run out, hasn't it? Have we got any? There's a couple of suggestions in the chat that I'm not too sure about. Something about we're going to have a Norwich goal. Jink pass Pitts. Jaskalainen. So quiet.
There's not even a lot going on, is there? It's not like we're talking about pointless stuff and there's actually good stuff going on that we're missing. We've had a load of pre-60 subs and not a lot else. Here come Blackburn finally coming forward. Oh, here we go. He's 2 guy.
Save our pet sad.
Peggy. Yeah.
Next 20 minutes, 10 goals.
I dare not suggest anything because I got ridiculed in the chat last week when I thought there'd be, what did I suggest, 5 or 6 goals in the last 15 minutes and we barely got any, did we? So I'm not going to leave myself open to that again. Here come Coventry. Surely not.
No, that's a step too far. Coventry ain't going to score. Come Liverpool again. Lippmann and some space. He was good off the bench last time. A bicycle kick. Way off target.
Look at this. 4 games with the home team not scoring. I think you'd have probably put a good money on all 4 of these teams scoring. You probably would have had half an idea. All 4 of these home teams would have scored at least twice, I think. And yet we've had, 4 away clean sheets potentially brewing here. My other transfer, when it first got, obviously we got the leak and it made it fairly clear to me at least Gardner wasn't playing. The first person I was going to get was Witherall because Blackburn have got 2 home games after this. I thought his 2 home games after this week were better than Sol Campbell's. So I thought Witherall would outscore Campbell over the 3. And then obviously we found out that there's a reasonable chance, we say, a 50% chance really, that game week 4 game with Chelsea was going to get postponed. So that switched me off Witherall because I didn't see the point in getting him in for 2 weeks when I couldn't play him in that game week 4. So now it looks like he might keep a clean sheet as well just to rub it in. So all of my sort of pre-planned moves I was thinking about are all leading to something. Oh, that Pedersen, I think.
Oh, Christ, we just had a goal. Was that Pedersen? Yes.
Another win for 3 hitters. Another win for 3 hitters. And you.
I was just looking at that. It was Ricketts and someone else involved. And I thought, oh, this is no good. And then all of a sudden, it's in the net from Henrik Pedersen.
Is Nihal watching the same stream as everyone else? He just put in the chat. How bad has this Pedersen pick been? He must be watching on like 2-minute delay or something.
Pedders, well, that's at least some vice captain returns for me. Thank God for that.
Maybe a few have nabbed the cheeky assist with Carrick there as well. He's another one of the 4.5
million
people may have looked at. Or penalty
in Spain.
Yeah, it's Deportivo's pen then.
Deportivo pen.
No.
Oh, Miller chipped the ball to Rickard.
Fouled. This is quite a big learning. Who's going to be on pen for Borough? Do we think it's Festa? Oh no.
Here we go. Rickard steps up. Rickard steps up to take the penalty, and it's a goal for Middlesbrough.
Obviously, don't know. Festa may have gone off in that game. I still think Festa was probably on, but he could have been substituted, right?
Could be, yeah. So keep an eye out for that. I'm sure the guys will talk about it on Sunday or tweet out what's happened.
But it's interesting. At least he's maybe second, third choice now. I didn't quite know the order behind. So I assumed Festa was first choice because he took him all season 1, didn't he? But Ricard above Boxic, at least in the penalty stats. And I'm trying to think who else has taken a penalty for Borough. I've got vague recollections of Zepeda taking one for some reason, but I might be wrong. But probably long term, another sort of tick in Ricard's box over Boxic alongside the fitness.
I think so, yeah. Arsenal on the attack. 1-1 disappointing result for them at the moment.
Yeah, decent point for Villa this.
Headed by Hall is now Villa on the attack. Hadji.
What was the score in that game last week with Blackburn in the end? Can you remember? I've forgotten.
2-2. Angel scores 2-1 Villa.
What a 2 weeks he's had. What a 2 weeks he's had.
What a 2 weeks Angel has had. And Bradford at home next week. Oh, you're absolutely laughing as an Angel owner.
Is he top point scorer over the 2 weeks, do you think? It probably is going to be him, isn't it?
It's got to be. It's got to be.
One of my favourite Villa players of all time there with the assist, George Boateng.
We'll see. We'll see how many shots Villa have had, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2.
I think the average in yours was 4 in your Sims, I think. Yeah.
Once. I think there was one once where they scored twice. So that's
they won 4-1, didn't they? So I commented that on Henry got man of the match.
Yeah, they somehow won 4-1 in one of them. But
so they gave Henry man of the match in that game as well.
Phillips on for his hat-trick. Swerving shot by Phillips. Kirkland gets behind it. So good substitution there from Gerard Houllier. Arsenal defence is a joke. It is a bit, isn't it?
Here's a new one. That 2-2 in a tight away game. Sub your keeper.
Smashed in low. Save for Abmatzidis.
I'm just hoping Sereni keeps it. That's all I'm getting is Sereni and Eki or clean sheets, I think. I don't think I'm getting a lot else.
No. What have I got? I've got Jeffers goal, Pedersen goal, Eki or clean sheet.
Oh, Kieran Dyer's on for a 3-pointer. Woohoo.
Wow, it really. Sereni clean sheet, both of us.
Yeah, Mike, look at this. Biscayne, no points. Campbell on 1 point. This is a shocker. I could be a game week rank of about 1,500 here. This is what I meant about at the start, not getting too excited, because even when you feel like your team's in quite good shape, you get weeks like this, right, where just everything goes wrong almost.
Yeah.
Oh, the donut's in.
Here comes Dowie. Dowie takes on Dobson.
He's still going. Someone's promised him a donut if he scores, I think.
He's taking on the whole team here. What is goal of the season? Oh! Nearly witnessed something special. They did. What was that? 5-6 players? I'm just surprised the offside flag didn't go up.
Yeah, could have done after last week.
They scored again.
a double for Mr. Hadji. Unfortunately,
we're going to get the 4-1. We're going to get the 4-1 that was in the preview.
How many went Hendry? 50-50 call on the two wingers, right?
Yeah, Hadji or Hendry, yeah. Toss a coin, but
I think most people would have probably gone. It's not even a 50-50. I think most people would have probably thought 60-40 in Hendry's favour or something. Oh, another goal.
That was a goal. Sick note on the score sheet.
Go for
cross by Slakovic. Oh, we said last week that sick note for Darren Anton is a little bit unfair.
Yeah, this is what Slakovic can do, right? He's awkward to own now because he's a striker, and I don't think he gets the returns as a striker that other actual strikers get, shall we say? But he is good, isn't he, Slakovic? If he was definitely
on penalties as well.
Tick it off. Get a cross in. Henry's in there. Put a cross in.
Knock it into Jeffers, please.
A
banana shot. We've got
an assist there. You may get an assist for Jeffers. I think you passed it to him on the halfway line.
I'm gonna salvage this. So what is that? A banana kick? What's a banana kick? I was thinking of Rabona. What's a banana kick?
Your guess is as good as mine. One that wobbles. I don't know.
He hit it. He hit it as he was falling on his ass or something. I don't know.
I want to see on the scoreboard at the minute if you get that Jeffers assist. I've got a strange feeling you might say it's a massive long dribble from Tickenoff. You don't deserve it.
Be good. Oh, I don't deserve it. Well, I've fucking got it. Someone describe what a banana shot is for us in the chat, please.
Nedved's, I think Nedved. I think we discussed this last year when Chadwick was on low fitness, and I think Becker may have been injured or something. That there was a chance Nedved, I think, can play on the right, but it's unlikely. So they've obviously brought him on in that position today. Then, so Nedved's going to get 10 minutes down the right. Come on, Henry. Jeffers can't outdo you by about 8 points. That's outrageous. You did say from the start, to be fair, even in our pre-season stream that we did, and I think it was when we was looking at everyone's first drafts, that there was a few teams where the second striker was maybe worth the downgrade on the first. I think we just mainly pointed out Arsenal and Leeds as the two teams for that.
Yeah.
Ringing true this week, isn't it?
It's a curling shot. Apparently, it's a common phrase in the game. I've spent too long with it on super fast commentary, obviously. Don't think I've ever noticed that.
A curling shot. Yeah, I can't say I don't know that much about that. Never heard them say a match of the day, for example. Have you?
No.
Get Sam Matterface to say that on ITV. That's a banana shot.
Banana shot. Oh, can you imagine what he'd come up with?
Newcastle. I think
Bernard, 4.5 million defender
and a clean sheet. What a haul this is! What a haul this is! He's going to be a star man for this week, isn't he? 2 goals. What's a goal for a defender? 6, 7?
6, isn't it? I think, yeah.
What we ain't had this week is the substitute being resubstituted like we got last week. Still time, obviously, but there's a couple of them last week.
Save for Barthez. His Coventry's 1 shot. That's that done and dusted.
That went in last year, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
How many clean sheet wipeouts were there for Man United with like 1 shot? Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Tarico 1 point out. Defence is meant to be good on this game. I've got 1 point off Tarico, 1 off Sol Campbell, and none off Biscan. What a defence I've got this week. This is this could be my worst score of the season, I think. I'll be amazed if I get 30 points here. I'm not expecting any big bonus points either. This is a shocker.
Goal kick. I thought that was a red card out of nowhere.
Come on, 8 minutes. I had a little spell last week where in like 3 minutes I had like 2 goals going. I could really do with one of them.
Wrong goal. We both want a wrong goal, really, don't we?
Yeah, we need it. I'd even take it if Van Nistelooy assisted it at the minute, I think.
Yeah, it could swing the man of the... Well, probably... No, maybe it could swing man of the match. I don't know. Probably not.
Comes Norwich against Snowden again.
March on in again.
Yeah, he's the main takeaway from this stream. He came on and he's possibly had 3 shots. Been quite involved. I wonder if they changed formation when they brought him on slightly. I know most teams don't, but I think Norwich are one team that might. He seems to be very involved for a right back.
Yeah, definitely. But are we going to go and sign him? Probably not.
No, probably not. Unless he starts playing up front. He could be another Doherty, right? Position striker.
Why is Nolan turned into De Bruyne? Flash in the pan.
Banana shot is a Carlos free kick.
What happens once every 50 years?
Luke saying it's just a shot that bends like a banana. Yellow card for the donut.
Yellow card for Dowie. Like the Denver bar goal. Yeah, I can see that. So you don't get many of them, do you?
Yeah, I can see why that would. Yeah, that's just like a bog standard, like Thierry Henry sort of curler that goes into the far post. Is it? Denver bars is.
It's like like almost bends the wrong way.
What are they talking about? That was Pape Cisse, right? The one you're talking about, the Chelsea one, or am I thinking about
the Chelsea one? That was Cisse, wasn't it? I think it's got to be what he means, isn't it? But
Yeah, maybe in that one. Monkey Hanger, has Henry had a shot yet? Yeah, he had one. He hit the crossbar, I think, like everyone else this game week. Is Shearer still on the pitch? Yep, he is. I think he had more involvement last week when they was down to 9 men, though, Newcastle, than what he's had in this game, to be fair. Their manager will be delighted, though. 2 goals from the left winger.
Free kick to Sunderland. Phillips on a hat-trick. Header by Phillips for the hat-trick.
It's what we said, though, with Bernard, right? I went Dyer because it was a winger versus wing-back. And saying that sort of 50-50 decision, it's the left winger that's got 2 returns. So the theory, in theory, plays out. It's just obviously you need to have the right winger, right? And in my case this week, I've got the wrong winger.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, definitely the wingers against if it's 4-4-2 against a team that's only got one player out wide, that's usually a really good route to points. But like you say, it's just come on the wrong side of the pitch for you this week.
How many more goals are we predicting here? I want to say we'll get 2 more. Man United are going to score
2
in the
more.
last
Man United will score again. They always score late.
goal in a Bradford game.
Yeah, we got to stick with that, haven't we? Karikov in a lot of pain.
He's on the bench. Tim Sherwood, is he on the bench? Oh no, Per Franson's coming on.
FPL panic. Everyone's saying Bar is a sheep. Very good. Robin made a career out of banana kicks.
Who did?
Robin. He made a career of cutting inside and then like a traditional curler. So if that is a banana kick, then yeah, he did. But
he was the most predictable winger that ever existed, and somehow in about 10 years, no one could stop him doing it.
You couldn't stop him. Yeah,
you knew what he wanted to do every time, and he was still effective at it. I'm sure there were occasional times he dipped back onto his right foot and did something. Like Salah has a couple of times, isn't he? He's obviously a similar type player in that sense that wants to dip onto his left foot from the right. But at least sometimes he does sort of drop his shoulder and come back onto his right foot and shoot from a narrow angle. I don't think Robin ever really did that, but yeah, he's still incredibly effective. And probably still one of my favourite players. But yeah, I could never work out how people couldn't stop him, or at least make it like less easy for him to.
Yeah, it's like, what do you do though? If you commit to him cutting inside, then he's just going to run past you and cut the ball across the 6-yard box, isn't he? I suppose that's why it was so difficult. But
what are we saying here? Only 3 days in game, so will Carrick be back? Obviously, we don't know the extent of the injury.
No, we don't know how bad it is yet.
The commentary said he was in a lot of pain, but he could have broken his fingernail, right? He won't have done. That's not a legit injury on this game, but you wouldn't put it past the
Man United on the attack. York with plenty of room on the volley. Headman save.
Headman owners will probably take this, right? Only 2 conceded and maybe a save point or something.
Bad. Yeah, he looks on for more than 0, which is a decent result after last week.
I'd have been nervous about him letting in 4 or 5 this week. Oh, this Man United game is exactly what I thought would happen. They score a couple of early goals and nothing else would happen. It's just unfortunate that obviously you know who's got both of them.
Yeah. Into the last minute. Veron goal. We're both cheering on a Veron goal.
I'll take something from anyone at the minute.
Yeah, true. Tommy Smith goal would be nice. Vulture face forwards. They haven't got a clue who they want to play back there, have they?
They've got Bergkamp and Basidas on the bench. They're losing at home, and they've decided to take one shit right back off for another shit right back for another shit right back. That's how they're going to change the game. Get all 3 shit right backs involved rather than maybe try and bring Bergkamp on for Ray Parlour or something.
Oh, back to the Reebok late twist.
Here comes
Norwich on the attack though.
It's not Marchant again, is it?
Yaskine and Courtball Cleany throws it to Pedersen, goal. At the throw-in, as the throw-in comms. Oh, who's it going to be? It's flicking between them. Who's it going to be?
Abby's gone. Not Nolan again. I'm so glad that didn't go in. I don't know what I think I would have. I don't know what I would have done if that went in.
Yeah, card for Quinn. Yep, yellow card for Quinn. That's the turn of events. Sub by Bolton, Pitts off for Hansen. So lock in that 1 point for Pitts.
We ain't getting another goal, are we? I don't think. Go on, rub it in. Let's get Van Nistelrooy. Get the
Portman Road, unless it's
come on, Tarico. Get me something at the end. I don't think it will be.
Dockie's lasted the 90 minutes. Header Pablo met the ball wide of the goal. Pablo pressured by Davidas. Booked.
With the noughties at the end.
That can't be the last action of the game week. Davidas getting booked.
This game suggested.
Not sure Walker would have got that. You've got a Tim Flowers fan in the team.
That's probably the big takeaway, I think, looking ahead, though, from this game. How long Walker's out for. There's a first mention of Peter Crouch all game, I think. Been well shepherded by Plummer and Andy Myers now, whoever it is, I think.
Really surprising that's full time. So no late drama. Middlesbrough and Chelsea are through to the Champions League group stages. So yeah, they're going to have 6 group games to negotiate in amongst league games. That's it for game week 2.
Have they both got game? So Middlesbrough's game in game week 4 is okay because it's not on the Monday. That's right, yeah. It's because they'll play the Saturday or the Sunday fixture.
Yeah.
It won't be impacted by their Champions League appearance. That's right.
It's just because Chelsea are the Monday night football that if they get drawn in the side of the draw that plays on Tuesday, then obviously they can't play 2 days in a row. So
I think what we did, Martin, just to be clear with everyone, I think we got your sim data the wrong way round. When we had a higher scoring game between Bradford and Blackburn, that was really Leicester and Man City sim data. And when we had low scoring between Leicester and Man City, that was really Bradford Blackburn. I think we should own up to it now that we might have got a bit mixed up.
Yeah, I mean, 3 goals. Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 3. I mean, that is just... Bolton 1, Norwich 1, Bradford 0, Blackburn 0, Ipswich 0, Newcastle 2, Leicester 2, Man City 2, Man United 2, Coventry 0, Sunderland 2, Liverpool 2, Watford 0, Tottenham 3. So Watford really disappointing again not to score a goal at home. The Arsenal,
outrageous, isn't it? No goals from 2 for them.
Definitely. Tommy Smith will score away. They'll score away at Leeds now. That's how it goes. But so we await the bonus points. Obviously, remember last week some really rogue bonus points, so that can happen again. It can make a big difference.
Yeah, so you don't rule out the fact you might get. So if you got Van Nistelrooy, you pretty much nailed on to get the 3 points of bonus. I'm trying to think who else might get bonus points here. It wouldn't surprise me if it was someone like unexpected, like a Bolton centre back or something. Could easily get like Thierry Henry could still get man of the match here, despite the fact it doesn't seem like he's done a lot.
He could, but
at the bottom there we go.
I can tell you,
we've got 2 bonus points. Thierry Henry,
Arsenal 2. They're there. Yeah, so 3. Yeah, 3 for Cole, 2 for Tikhonov, 2 for Jeffers, 2 for Henry, 2 for Perez, 2 for Enkelman, 2 for Barry, and 2 for Angel. Big legend, Angel.
These strikers don't usually get bonus points at Arsenal, do they? Angel, no. Even the fact if they get a return, 2 bonus points is quite unusual. Save point for Enkelman. I don't know if he said that as well. Anyone who's got Vesterveld had a bit of a shocker there. He's got absolutely nothing. 3 goals conceded and no saves. Well, the no saves was pretty much guaranteed, wasn't it? But
yeah.
And probably no bonus. We did say, I think, that we probably had a 6-point seed in this week. Vesterveld.
So Aston Villa had 4 shots on target, 3 goals.
Vesterveld was meant to be good, right? And why he's letting 3 goals in from 4 shots? Old Lambropoulos is keeping a clean sheet.
Yeah, bit of a mare from Vesterveld there. That's the variance in the game.
Is Bolton Norwich, so 3 save points for Jääskeläinen and 1 for Mercer. And then 3 bonus points for Jääskeläinen as well. So despite conceding, he still ended up with 6 points from bonus and clean sheets. So 8 points for Jääskeläinen He has got that in him, hasn't he, to have a haul like that? Even it's one of the good things about him. Even if he concedes, he can still get points. 2 bonus for Kevin Nolan. Not happy about that. And then 1 bonus point for DeVos, Carrick, Jackson, Quinn, and Marchant.
Yeah, nothing for Pedersen. Norwich, 14 shots on goal and 10 on target. That is just that defies everything we think we know about what should have happened in that game. But there you go. That's what happened.
Good haul for Kevin Nolan. What's he got there? A goal and 2 bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, big effort from him.
Here comes Bradford, Blackburn.
Oh, look at Weatherall. Look, I almost brought him in. Clean sheet and max bonus. And I didn't get him because he was maybe blanks in game week 4. Oh, that's so annoying. That's more annoying than Veron not scoring, I think. You can read it out because that's annoying me.
3 for Weatherall, 2 for Walsh, 2 for Holt, 2 for Lambropoulos, and 2 for Ludvigsson.
And a safe point for both the goalkeepers. So Lambropoulos with a 9-pointer there.
Few shots, yeah. So Bradford 4 shots on target, Blackburn 3. So again, somehow they've cancelled each other out. Not really what we expected.
Oh, I don't believe that, Weatherall. Why did I change? Don't change your mind, Craig. Don't change. I wasn't even trying to be a smart ass, I think. Scared by the odd blank. Ipswich, Newcastle. So we got no save points for either keeper. 3 bonus for Bernard, unsurprisingly, for his 2 goals. Gary Breen, something to bear in mind here, 2 bonus. So if he starts, bonus points are possible. Good game for Ipswich centre-backs, despite the fact they've let 2 in, because Breen got 2 bonus and Bramble and Doherty got 1 each. And then also bonus points for Holland, Given, Court and Shearer. So both Newcastle strikers in the bonus for doing nothing. So let's get that right. Both Newcastle strikers have got bonus and all 3 Ipswich centre-backs have got bonus. So how does that work? Who's dominated the other one there? If the defenders have all done well, the strikers have had a bad game, right?
Yeah, so Titus Bramble, 12 headers, 6-1. Gary Breen, 14 headers, 13-1, 7 key headers.
He must have been with Shearer, was he? Or Court?
We saw, I'm not sure to be honest, but we saw, didn't we, in our preview that Gary Breen was getting man of the match a lot, so that's why.
Leicester, Man City's in. No save points in this game either. Joby McAnuff, 3 bonus. Big haul for you there, your boy on your shirt. Decent introduction for Tim Flowers. He's got 2 bonus for his cameo. We'll call it a cameo, but 2 bonus points. I don't think it was on. No, yeah, he's on long enough for 1 appearance point. Then Frank Sinclair, Steve Howie, Jermaine Wright, Anders Svensson, One Chop and Huckabee also 2 bonus for all of those as well. Surprised nothing for Leicester centre backs, which is quite unusual at home. The right back again though.
We said about the sim data, but we've had a 2-2 draw. Leicester had 2 shots on target, and Man City had 5. So
low shots. 2 shots on target, 2 goals for Leicester.
Yeah.
Michael Oak's not living up to expectation. I think we had him earmarked as quite a good keeper, right? But he's not covered himself in glory here.
Yeah, he's played a 5 there.
Here we go. 5. Only 3 lots of bonus points in the Man United game. Veron, no bonus in a home game. That will be very rare.
That's a stinger, that is. Van Nistelooy, 3 bonus.
So Headman, just the 1 save point. You might be a bit let down if you had a Headman for this game, because I think you might have expected more save points than that. There's the standard Van Nistelrooy 3 bonus, which you would have got if he'd done nothing. And then Jordic and Gary Neville with the 2 points with 2 bonuses. I'm quite surprised a defender. What ratings have they got there, Martin, to get the to bonus?
So the problem we've got is that Ruud got 10 by himself, and then we've got some 9s. So the 8s are missing out because there's.
This is the problem with Man United. We've said this before. Like Hariderson in season 1 for Ipswich got loads of man of the matches for 8 average ratings because there wasn't anyone sort of in his team that regularly got 9s and certainly not 10s. But you run the risk with Man United, an 8 not always good, as we've seen here. It doesn't even get you 1 point of bonus in some weeks. Did Veron get an 8, did he?
Veron got a 7.
Yeah.
Ronnie Onson and Yuko Ekiog, Mikel Silvestre all got an 8. But yeah, because we've got that 10 and a 9, it's not enough.
On to Sunderland and Liverpool. 1 save point for Neil Sullivan. Kevin Phillips, unsurprisingly, with a max bonus of 3. Neil Sullivan with 2 bonus with Michael Dobson, Emerson Tome, both Liverpool strikers, Heskey and the Donut, 2 bonus each. And Chris Kirkland got himself 2 bonus points. I don't know what he actually did in his little 20-minute stint at the end there. Somehow earned himself 2 bonus points, Chris Kirkland, for that. So both goalkeepers in a 2-2 draw. well, one goalkeeper didn't play the whole game, admittedly, but quite unusual,
Yeah.
right? Both goalkeepers in the bonus. I bet Serini don't get no bonus in a minute.
Oh, that would be even more of a kicker. 7 shots on target for Sunderland, only 4 for Liverpool. So again,
Yeah,
more
quite a few
goals.
keepers tonight in the bonus, right? Lembropoulos got some. Here we go. Oh, Serini got 2 bonus points and 2 save points. What a haul for the
Yeah,
goalkeeper.
We'd take that.
Yeah, so 1 save point at Mazidis, 2 for Serini, Selakovic man of the match for 3 bonus, and 2 for Serini, Clark, Perry, Ziga, Davis, Redroth, and Anderson. Shocker from Watford. No bonus points for one Watford player in that game.
No, all 6s and 7s in the Watford team.
How many shots did Olgerson have? Put me out of my misery.
Oh, let's see. Helgeson, 6 shots, 4 on target.
Yeah, I thought as much. He seemed to have loads. Just put it down to bad luck, right? It happens.
Yeah, it happens. He was on a 6 when he came off, and Tommy Smith finished on 7. So you have to assume that it was 6 and 7 at that point as well.
Good haul for Clark there. If you had him, 4 million defender, I think, helped himself to a clean sheet and 2 bonus points at left back for Tottenham. So another cheap defender to consider. There's a few knocking around, isn't there? I think Breen is better if he's becomes a regular.
Yeah,
but I think Clark's the safer regular starter. But obviously, there's a few Norwich guys as well, aren't there, that will play.
We said we fancied both teams to score in this game. So Watford 10 shots on goal, 6 on target, and they've lost 3-0 to a team that had 11 shots on goal and 7 shots on target. So basically, Tottenham have had 1 extra shot, but they've scored 3 and Watford has scored none.
Let's end with one. How many shots did Ruud have? For some reason, I can't see the what you're seeing, but you can talk me through it. What was Ruud's numbers?
Let's have a look. That's Coventry. Ruud van Nistelooy, 3 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals.
Yeah, see, you'd have loved it. If you'd have said before the game, Helgeson's going to have twice the number of shots of Van Nistelrooy and twice as many shots on target, you'd have been rubbing your hands at that, right? And look at the difference, your 12-point swing between the two. But that's why we love this game, right? The shots doesn't always mean goals. We had it last year with Robbie Fowler. I think mainly regularly had 4 shots in a game and very rarely scored, right? So it will happen.
We did.
All you can do is pick the players that look like they're going to haul and just hope that in the actual sim we run.
And the max bonus, this is why Ruud is so powerful. 19 headers competed for. So yeah, that's more than double anyone else.
I think from memory, I ran some data. It might have been season 1. It was definitely one of the first 2 seasons that in 19 home games, I think he got bonus in 18, and I think he got 2 points or 3 points in like 16 of them. That's pretty phenomenal, isn't it? 2 or 3 points of bonus in 16 out of 19 home games. You might as well start on 4 points before he's even touched the ball in those games.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what you're paying the money for. And in fact, he obviously scores a lot of goals, but that you can't underestimate the use of bonus, especially if you're captaining him as well. It's quite a big head start.
Definitely. Right, mate. I think team of the week, and then we're done. So it's in goal, Matteo Serini, 10 points. So a bit of good news for us. Olivia Bernard, 21 points in the back 3. Clark from Spurs, 8 points. David Weatherall at Blackburn, 8 points. And then 4 in midfield. Mustafa Hadji, 12. Christian Ziga, 10. Darren Anderton, 10. Joby McAnuff, again in team of the week, 15 points. Ruud van Nistelooy, 13. Selakovic, 12. Kevin Phillips, 13 is your team of the week.
Not one defender got double. Oh, apart from Bernard's the only defender that got double figures this week.
But he got 21, so he did it for 2 of them.
Cool.
Well, that's it, guys.
At least we're still smiling. We'll say we both got big red arrows. I think. Well, I definitely have. You might be all right, but
I think we're okay. I think we're okay with our chips in hand. It'll come back around. I think we're all right. It's not too bad.
Depends how much we've lost on the general. Say there were people like Luke with Phillips and Van Nistelrooy have got a massive gain on the non-free hitters, but maybe on most free hit teams probably haven't killed us that much. We'll find out. Leaderboards are updated.
I think so. I think we're all right. I think it's quite good really, because I think you could argue it either way. If you're free hit, you're probably fairly happy, and I think we can also, not on free hit, take the positives from it. So at least nobody's properly got their face in the mud, I don't think, whatever strategy you went with. And if you went with Angel, bloody hell, that's going to be the people up the top, isn't it? Surely, if you didn't free hit and you kept him in your team this week. But I think we'll sign off 10:30, Craig. So any final words of wisdom, or we'll sign off?
Yeah, don't transfer in the same players as me. That's my final word of wisdom. Till next time.
But do listen to the Man on Pod Game Week 3 preview. Just don't listen to Craig. Okay.
That's on Sunday morning. Yep.
That'll be out Sunday morning. Yeah, absolutely.
And then
all right, thanks everybody.
Live stream Sunday night for everyone.
Yes, and the preview from the official channel Sunday night. We'll find out whether Blackburn Chelsea is a blank game week in Game Week 4. We'll get the player conditions from everybody coming out of this. Anybody that got injured, we'll find out what the extent of it is. All that good stuff. Exactly the same as last week. Same days, same sort of times. All that stuff. Thanks everybody. Hope you